This episode is with my friend Amran Sarwar. Hello, Relative Roads listeners. Amran and I met at a trucking job many years ago, 2012 to be exact. And I've kept in touch with him through all the companies I've worked for. I came back and worked for that same trucking outfit again for a second time, and Amran was still there. He's one of the more controversial figures in that work environment, but he's my friend. He's obnoxious at times, but so am I. And I love the guy. He just had a brand new baby, less than a month old, I think. I think I'm really outdated in that. Sorry, Imran. Whatever. You're a jerk to me sometimes too, so whatever, you know. Anyhow, so he, made some time for me to come over and do a podcast. And I have to say, Amran is one of the most interesting people I know. And I don't tell him that often because he's also got an ego, that's not to be competed with. Anyways, you'll find out. But I've always wanted to kind of ask and learn how arranged marriages work. Amran is Pakistani, and I am a fool, so I don't know a whole lot, but, Amran and I are comfortable enough to ask questions like that, and I did so. And we talk about the homelessness that's going on, because the rabbit hole continues, and relationships and goals and, life things. I try to offer positivity to him and congratulate him for becoming a father, something he's always wanted to become. But anyways, just a conversation for you to enjoy, the weirdo that is my friend Amran Sarwar.
I'm just a wandering nomad out on the interstate. Eventually all these roads just end up looking the same. And now it's time for another episode of Relative Road.
You got all the nifty gear. Look at you.
Yeah, man, this business is business,
You made it all official. Look at you. You're all adorable and stuff.
Thanks, man.
You're all trying. It's so cute that you're trying to do it all nice.
I'm a grown man.
Can I be it?
Can you what?
Are you a grown man?
So far. Yeah. There might be more growth. I don't know. But I think that was like 20. When do you stop growing? Like 21, 22?
I think it's like 21. Or
Yeah.
boys is like 16 to 18? Or no. That's what you think it's like 18 to 20 or some shit?
Yeah, somewhere in that little range there. So I'll be 40 next year. This year. Here, put these on.
Holy
this cord goes on the left.
Holy shit, 40?
Yeah, I'll be 40. I'm 39 right now.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah.
You're hella old.
I guess so.
I'm 34 now?
I'm 34?
Yeah.
Interesting. Why are all my friends young? It's because I'm a fucking jackass, isn't it?
No, because you can't make older friends. They don't understand you.
Why not?
Because you're fucking weird.
What do you mean I'm weird? What does that mean?
Dude.
What do you mean by weird? You're fucking weird.
How we met. I'm weird because I'm brown. I mean,
but you're just a weird guy. You're not
just-
just brown weird. Because fine, maybe that's a thing, but you're like extra.
I'm weird because I have a weird background. That's why.
A weird background?
Yeah. We're just...
All right, hold on. We'll get to that.
Okay.
For sure. But how am I weird? What is
You can't socialize with older people because you're always doing something retarded that doesn't make sense.
Like what, man?
You doing YouTube videos of you dressed as a transgender.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough,
The old person's going to be like, I can see myself doing that on the weekends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I get you. Okay, whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know how to have fun. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, but older people are more refined. You're not refined.
No, but I'm an artist.
That makes you eccentric?
No, just weird.
Yeah, but see, artists are more eccentric than weird.
But that is eccentric, don't you think? Putting on a wig and acting as a woman for a music video?
No,
That's fairly eccentric.
Maybe because you want to be a woman?
No, definitely not.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Okay.
And I say that with confidence because I've thought about it.
You kind of slow down there for a moment.
No.
Like you're processing that, like, hey.
Well, I just want you to understand that I've actually thought about it. And it's not just dismissing it like, oh, no, that's weird. I don't want to do that. But it's more like, does that interest me? And I think further, no. I like being a man. Let's put it that way.
There's a dude that was just on news. He's an Australian rugby player. Mm-hmm. Says he wants to be a woman. Says he's a woman now. Plays on the women rugby team.
Yeah.
But says he's not doing like the full transition. He's just going to identify as a woman now. So
right.
basically he's a guy in a woman's sport.
Fair enough.
And he's like crushing all the records and
of
shit.
Course,
obviously.
Yeah. This is all like controversial.
Yeah, and then right after that, South Park comes out with that episode.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's like the guy who's like Macho Man Randy Savage says he's a woman now in the Olympics. So they're doing like weightlifting and all the other stuff, and he's just like crushing it. He's like, yeah I'm just a woman, man. It just
does that bother you?
It's actually pretty stupid. It doesn't make sense. You want to identify as a woman, but you're not going to do the full thing. Then you're just half-assing it, or you just want to take advantage of the system.
Yeah.
I feel
suppose.
Because he was a mediocre player. They say he was like a mediocre rugby player. But now he's on a women's team.
And he's crushing it.
He's amazing.
Yeah, because biologically, men have some advantages.
Yeah, okay.
A biological male has some advantages.
He's like twice the size, okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, dude, you just took advantage of the system. That's all you're...
Let me ask you this. If a woman transitioned to be a man and then dominated a predominantly male sport, do you think it would still be as controversial? Or do you think that there would be praise and
No, there wouldn't be praise.
Excitement?
If she did the whole thing, it's different. But if she just was a woman and just went over, became a man, and started taking testosterone and stuff, then that just gave her an unfair advantage. So, because if you start taking like testosterone and hormones...
No. Let's say that she didn't take those things and she just
went over?
Yes, like she just worked out really, really hard.
Then she's just better. She's just better. But this guy, he's twice the size though. You know what I mean? You're like, that's like, he's an A-star, he was a B-star player, goes, and all of a sudden he's an A-star player now.
Right.
So basically it's like, what are you doing? Like,
so do you think that he shouldn't be allowed to compete in that?
No. If he's not doing the full thing, if he's not doing the hormone treatments and getting just snipped and tucked in, then you're just over there just to take advantage of the system.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because it's going to happen anyways. Like when my kid was born, they're like, it literally had non-binary, non-gender specific.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Which box to tick?
It was male, female, non-gender binary. I'm like,
and this is on behalf of the child.
This is for the child. Like, we can pick if we want to ease a male. So.
Yeah. Ugh.
So I'm going to go, okay.
Messy.
I'm sitting there. The lady comes in. I'm like, so what happens if I put non-binary? She goes, well, then he has no gender, you know? So it's like, I'm like, then what do you identify as? Is like, as he grows up, then she goes, and now majority of the forms now are all going to transition over to like having multiple different genders. I'm like, so that male-female box is going to get a lot bigger, huh? She goes, yeah.
Damn.
I'm like, does that happen? I'm like, have you seen that happen? She goes, once so far.
What do you think? How do you think this will evolve? Because eventually it sounds like both men and women are going to be just everywhere in every sport.
Okay, the whole women transitioning over to men's sport, they can get hurt like crazy too.
Sure.
Because if men can get hurt in their own sports, they hit hard. You know, put a woman in there who's, 110, 135, and these guys are all like 200. She's going to get crushed. Put her in football. What's she going to do?
Yeah.
She go wide receiver. Somebody's going to hit.
You could be like the dainty kicker.
She's a kicker. They're going to jump over and take her out.
Yeah, I suppose.
One hit wonder. They're going to be like, she's gone. They're like, oh, you hit too hard now all of a sudden.
You know what it does, right? It has to change the way your empathy works. Because if in this process, a woman decides she's going to join the sport.
Right.
Then everybody basically agrees, okay, fine, let her in. And then when she gets dominated or hurled over by some giant man,
right,
we can't feel sorry for her like we normally would in like a scenario where a woman is overtaken by a man. We normally would be like, oh, that's wrong. But if she's going through this process as we are and we see her get hurt, we have to kind of be like, well, what'd you expect?
Yeah.
And then you can't be blamed for having that position.
Yeah, but then what if the guy hits her too hard? They're like, oh, it was too rough and shit. He hit her harder than normal, and you know. But then they'll find ways to blame it. Okay, you know, you
Sure, yeah.
And all of a sudden, next thing you know, tackle football, flag football on TV. American football just went to flag football because they got women on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and
It changes things for sure.
they opened up the bathroom thing for high schools, so you can.
That's official now?
They were trying to do that. Hey, you know, let's have boys and girls
All
use the
gender
same
bathroom?
bathroom. Yeah, all gender bathrooms. How wrong can that go really fast?
You know what I like about it, though?
What?
I like that a lot of places have unibathrooms. So it's like one bathroom with everything.
Right.
And it's all gender. So then you get your own private bathroom.
No one's in
basically.
there.
That's quite convenient. So if that's where we're going, I like that. I don't like having to share a disgusting little petri dish with somebody else.
Okay. That's different in public. But if you put them in schools,
Mm-hmm.
a high school kid, all of a sudden, kids got weird ass hormones. Somebody's drugged up. 90% of them are drugged up. Anyways, they're drunken or some shit. Next thing you know,
I
girl.
suppose, yeah.
Next thing you know, a girl comes in. Bam, two guys were faded. Next thing you know, she gets tag teamed, or she even says this, yeah. And all of a sudden, she changes her mind when people walk in on them.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah.
You let them in. Like,
Yeah.
oh, transgender. Oh, they don't, you know, we don't want to give them their own bathroom, but we want to give them the right to use whatever bathroom they identify with. So if it's a male, but he identifies as a female, or he has female body parts, but he looks like a male, it's okay for him to go, no, get your own bathroom, bro.
Yeah.
I'd rather do my own thing. When I hit the airports, I love those family bathrooms because they're
Yeah.
just, you can just shut the door.
That's
and
what I'm saying, though.
those are the best.
Like-
they're the cleanest.
Like, I think if that's what we're gonna get out of this is individual bathrooms,
I'll do it.
I'm down.
I'm doing it.
I'm down.
Dude.
It's all gender. All
You know
the
the
way.
baseball stadiums, man. It's like, we want to stand
Yeah.
on that damn line.
Man, hey, let's put it this way, okay? I know women can be gross, but men are fucking disgusting. I mean, listen, and you know what I'm talking about because you're a truck driver as well,
Right.
And your bathroom is every bathroom,
Dude, yeah.
we are unfortunately forced to use the most convenient bathrooms, which is the convenience stores.
Right.
You know what I mean? And every time I go in there, I'll see something that is just disturbing in terms of how an individual is out there in the community just shitting on themselves and shitting on everybody else, and they don't give a shit.
It's like, did you even try?
Yeah,
Like, I went to there was this place, SSA, up in Milpitas.
yeah.
Went there, I was like, hey, bro, where's your guys' bathroom? Like, oh, it's over there at the end. I'm like, okay, cool. I open the door. There's literally cardboard on the ground that's like, has piss on it. It's horrible. I walk out. I walk right out. I'm like, y'all still open? Because that place is horrible.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what? I'm like, dude, y'all need to be reported. He's like, no, that's the bathroom. Like, everybody uses it for truckers. I'm like, there's cardboard on the ground with piss on top of it.
It's all soggy paper.
And I'm like, y'all ain't got another one? They go, no, that's the only one. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to load my shit up. I'm going to leave. I'm going to find a different restroom, and then I'll be back. The guy's like, no. There's another one for employees only down there. We'll let you in over there. That one's pristine.
yeah.
Like, in general, those bathrooms were trashed.
Yeah.
Like, this new place, bro, they have a company that comes in twice a day, spotless clean.
Yeah.
Like, from outside.
I think, a lot like sandwich restaurants, I think the quality of the most fundamental parts of it, like in sandwich restaurants, fresh vegetables make all the difference.
Right.
Quite frankly, they do. If you see fresh vegetables, you feel secure. You feel like
They're trying.
they care about
Right.
your nutrition. Like and then when you go to an establishment and their bathrooms are kept clean, even if it's like just some stupid convenience store, if you go in their bathroom and it's pristine, you have this like, I don't know, enlightened feeling
It's on point here.
yeah. And you are willing to be loyal to that business. You're like, I'm coming back here every time.
Yeah, well, because you know it's clean. It's
Yeah.
okay, if they're taking the time to clean the damn bathrooms out,
Yeah.
that means they're cleaning their all their utensils properly, is doing everything right.
Yeah.
You walk into it's just like, oh, this
I know.
shithole.
Well, that's what I mean. Like when I see urine all over the seat and nobody, because all it takes is just wad some stuff up, put it there, clean it up.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, man. Grown ass folks can't even keep it right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's the horrible part.
That's one of the things on my list constantly is like these fucking people in their bathroom. Yeah, bathroom behavior.
Like, I don't got to worry about it no more because I don't go out no more.
Yeah.
I don't gonna be out there driving around.
You're in a nice building taken care of by a company twice a day.
Yeah, they actually care and they take care of it.
Yeah.
And the first time I walked in there, I'm like, it's fresh in here. I like this. It's just nice.
Good for you, man. How are you? You look tired.
Dude, this week's schedule.
You look hella tired.
No, this week's schedule has just been messed up.
Why?
And then one coming up last week's and this week's schedule is just horrible because I'm going on routes.
Oh.
So Sunday, it's 6 o'clock.
Why? Because you guys are short?
No. I got to go meet with all the customers. Got to go do the whole, like, hey, I know we fucked up. And we froze your cucumbers and this, but we're here to fix it. What can I do?
Yeah.
Bid season's coming up, so that means we all got to start bidding out contracts and stuff. And so it's like, okay, now I got to go out and go meet with you.
Interesting.
So one day, Monday was 2 a.m. We went to San Mateo area, so we left at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then Tuesday was 3:30, and it was in the Brentwood, Pittsburgh, Antioch, and that driver was a fucking asshole. We went 9 hours without talking to each other.
That sucks.
He saw me, and they introduced me to him. He's like, "What the hell? I don't want to take." I'm like, "Look, bro, it's not about you.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want. I'm just gonna go talk to the customers. It's more convenient to do it this way instead of following you around in a van. It's easier this way." He's like, "Oh, I don't want to take him to." We literally went the entire day without having we had one conversation when he thought I messed up the lift gate. Bro, it's a bobtail. You didn't turn. You had that truck off, and we're going up and down the lift gate. Of course, you drained the battery. And he's like, "Oh, I can fix it." He's grabbing the taillight wires. I'm looking at him, bro. That's the taillight wires. No, they're not. They're lift gate. I'm like, no, they go right to the taillight. Look right there. He's just adamant that I'm wrong. I'm like, why don't you start the truck? No, you messed it up. I'm like, start the damn truck. So I went and started the truck. Start the truck. 2 minutes later, the lift gate closes up. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
I had to learn that on my own the hard way.
What?
That I drained the battery, and that all I needed to do was start the truck
and wait,
let the battery charge, and then I'm good.
Yeah, he was arguing the whole time. That little process. After that, not another word. I was like, dude. And then Wednesday went on the route again, but that was a 3 o'clock route. But that was a local one, just in the Davis, Sacramento area. So I went there. Then I was supposed to be off. I was actually supposed to be off Wednesday. So they go, "Oh, you know what? Come in Thursday for a half day. Come in at 11. I'm like, great. 11 o'clock, no problem. I'll be out of here by 2 o'clock. Good. 4 hours of OT. Yeah. I'm happy, right?
Yeah.
No. Went home at 5:30.
But that's all OT.
All OT.
So that's the good thing, I guess.
But like 2:30 when I'm getting ready to leave, "Hey, man, I need you to run the Tam's pre-cuts over there and off of Belvedere." I'm like, dude, it's 2:30. Well, get the van keys. Are you serious right now? It took me an hour and a half to get there. An hour and a half to get.
Oh, I used to hate the run to Tams. I hated it.
Oh my god.
We need somebody to go to Tams. Fuck.
I don't want to go. There's hella traffic. And then I get there. The guy's like, "Hey man, it's gonna be 30 minutes."
Yeah.
I was like, "You told him to be ready by 2:30. I got here an hour and a half late. You're still." And then he brings me out the wrong stuff. I'm like, "Hey bro, it's supposed to be red bell pepper slice." No, it's green. I'm like, "Bro, look at your bill." All right, give me like 20 minutes. You need 20 minutes to slice some bell peppers, bro? I was like, this motherfucker, bro.
How inconvenient.
I was already hella tired.
So anyways, you work Thursday all day, unexpectedly. Then Friday?
Friday, 6 o'clock to 2:30.
Damn.
It's been...
Full week. Monday? Wait, when was your last day off?
Today.
But before that?
Sunday. Oh, before that was Saturday. Last Saturday.
Oh, so you work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I work the whole week, and then Saturday, and then I work 6.
And you're off today.
Today.
When do you go back?
Tomorrow.
What time?
6.
Okay, I can't take up all your time.
Dude, I'm telling you,
that's fucking crazy.
And then Monday. Okay.
Have you spent some time with your baby?
All night. Right when I get home from work, first thing I do is take him. Like, I literally go wash my hands, wash my face, change my clothes, pick him up.
Yeah. Are you enjoying that?
Oh, I love it, dude.
Or do you feel like you wish you weren't so tired?
No, actually, with him, I don't feel tired. I actually, I'm more energetic when I'm around him.
Yeah.
Because my wife, she has a tendency of, dragging whatever she's doing. So if she goes, "I'm going to cook breakfast." So you're like, all right, 15, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
Should be done, right? No. She makes it into this, full ordeal. I'm not going to toast my bread. I'm going to warm up in a pan with butter. So she does that. Then she cooks her eggs. Then she puts them in a plate. Then she does her... She'll make breakfast into a 1.5 hour ordeal. And trying to get dinner.
Yeah.
She won't make it till I leave work. So I'll be like, hey, I'm leaving work right now. So I'm leaving at, depending on when I start. So 2:30 I'm leaving. I'm like, I'll be home by 3 o'clock, 3:45. I'm running to the store, grab some items. I'll be home. Dude, dinner's not ready till like 6:30.
Yeah.
And she started at 2.
How does she feel? Excuse me. How does she feel about you after such a long day? I mean, you feel like me or anybody normal. You're a little irritable by the end of your workday,
I'm a little, but then
especially when you're in the truck out all day.
well, when I'm on the road, I get home, I just kind of want to rest. But like with her thing is like, I'll take him. I don't mind. Like normally around 6, he's about to get ready, take a little quick hour nap, and then he's gonna wake up around like 7:38, and then feed, and then and then he'll go back to sleep for the rest of the night. So I always take him, and I always have him with me. And then she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that." I'm like, "Okay, just go do it. Stop telling me everything." Like every 2 minutes, she'll walk in the room. So I'm gonna go do this real fast. I'm gonna go do the laundry real quick. I'm gonna go wash the dishes. I'm gonna go fold the towels. I'm like, okay, I don't need. Why do you keep coming in here to tell me? Like I'll have him on the bed. I'll be watching TV. I'm feeding him, or when we're eating, she'd be like, "Oh, I'll hold him. You eat first." I'm like, okay, it's easier if I hold him because for some odd reason he's calmer when I hold him, and then instead of you, because she wants to keep changing position. Like, oh, I'm gonna put him on this arm. I'm gonna put him on this arm. I'm gonna put him on my shoulder. I'm gonna put him on my other shoulder. I'm like, dude, I just stick him in my arm and I hold him. I just sit there and eat with one hand, and she's like, oh, no, you eat, and then after you're done, you hold him, and then all she does is just sit there with dinner for like an hour and a half. No joke. You think it's a joke?
Sure. No. Well, see, a couple things. First off, to your face, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I know you've been wanting to be a dad for quite some time.
Right.
I mean, since the whole time I've known you, you've shown an interest. I could see the twinkle in your eye, like, I wonder what it'd be like to be a dad. And now it's here, man. So congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big congratulations. Secondly, I mean, food does taste better when it is caressed and loved on. And hold that thought. Listen, I'm just explaining that there's two different worlds happening between you and your wife. You are off working and expending a lot of energy in that realm. Then you come home and you're spent. Right. And then she is in this quiet, dull, baby, like soft environment. And you come in and her interaction is with you. Is you're at that point in your day, and she's just like all like saved in this cushy little, and so she wants to talk, right. And so I think she comes in and says, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this. Hey, I'm gonna go do that." But I think maybe that's just her like trying to connect to you.
Well, no, her thing is like she wants you to know what everything she does, and then later, like say for like we're laying down, like one day I was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go to bed early. I gotta be up at like 12:45 to get out of here so I can be there on time. So I'm gonna go to sleep around like 7." All of a sudden, I have to do I got to do this. I'm like, I've been home since 3 o'clock. We literally been hanging out, doing nothing on the couch. Because my brother and his kids were gone, so the house is a little bit quiet, so you can just go sit in the living room and relax. I don't know. You don't have that problem, so your thing is
sure. Well, not necessarily. I do have people. This house is busy sometimes.
With them, it's a little crazy. So when you get that moment to you can actually go out of your room. Like I spend like 90% of my day in my room. If I'm home. Yeah. We're in our room. Yeah. Because my brother, his wife, and his kids, all they do is yell. His wife is looking for a fight right now.
Oh, okay.
Long story short,
that sucks.
They're moving out, but she told my mom to her face, like, when I move out, I'm going to move out, and we're going to get in a big fight so I can tell your family about it. And we're like, okay. So right now she's doing things just to like...
That's weird that she announced that.
Oh, she's that way. She's a bitter person.
What the fuck is that about?
She's hella bitter. Because she sees it like when my wife came, I went and got her. I went to Pakistan. I picked her up, brought her back home. We stayed in Dubai for the night. Then we came home, and then I got her permit, her license. I got her a phone. I got her everything really quick, Got her a job. She was working for a little while, and my brother didn't do all that. But it's not his fault either. She got her visa. Didn't even wait. Drove to an airport 24 hours away. Got on the first flight and took off. There's an airport 6 hours away from your house. Why would you go 24 hours away? You went to the opposite side of the country to get on a plane and get here. You didn't even give them time to come pick you up.
Why though? Why?
She was in a rush to get here.
Oh, so they had an earlier flight but further away.
No, she found the first flight. Like, she picked up her permit. She picked up her visa. Like, they mailed it to her. She got it in the mail. The next day, she's on a flight.
Damn. She was ready.
She was ready, yeah. And then she got here, and it's like, my brother was still trying to get established. He was driving a truck, but he wasn't making that much money. He was co-piloting with people. So he's making, $500, $600 every couple of days and shit. So he was still trying to, like, build himself up. Mm-hmm. He didn't get her a cell phone. He didn't get her a car. He didn't get her a permit for like 3 years.
So, okay, just to get some background, both your marriages were arranged, your brother's and yours.
Yeah.
And how does that work exactly? When do you know who it's going to be? Do you get to shop a little bit?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah, tell me how it works.
Okay, so my first two, like, 'cause this is my second arranged marriage. My first one, I saw her at a party we had at the house. I was like, I want her. And my mom and dad were like, okay, we'll go talk to her parents. It's simply how it went, because I was upstairs.
Oh, shit.
I was upstairs, and she was my aunt's friend's. She was my aunt's best friend's daughter. Saw her. I was upstairs on the balcony. I looked down. I'm like, damn, she's cute right there. Told my mom, like, hey, I like her. She's really cute. My mom was like, okay, we'll go talk to her mom and dad.
Oh, my God.
For my brother, what we did was we shopped around. My mom went and seen, like, 50, 60 girls, like there's like people out there that
in person, or is there like online profiles? How does this work? How do you get the
both.
list?
They have online people. Like, there's actually a website like shadi.com, like it's called wedding.com. Like, literally it's called wedding.com.
Wow.
And then so it's wedding
in Pakistani.
Yeah. So it's wedding.com.com.
That's such fucking European, Asian type shit.
Yeah, that's that bullshit out there.
That's funny.
So then you post your profile, and then you post pictures of yourself, and they're always like those like fucking cameos, side photos.
Sure.
And, like, you're all dressed properly, in the mountains and shit with the backdrop.
Sure.
So you post your like education levels and what class you're from. Wow. Because the biggest thing is class. Mm-hmm. There's like Araim, Mullaks, Jarts, all these different. So like basically,
hold on. What? Okay. How do you? What do those come from? Like, what does that mean?
Old world. So like, if you're a Mullak, you're back in the old days. You own businesses. All you ever did was run businesses. Okay. Like, you had your own business. You ran businesses. So you're like city folks.
A Mullak.
A Mullak. That, and my sister Nazia is actually married into a Mullak family, because they're all their background is all businesses.
Okay.
We're considered Araim, and those are like farm workers. Like, we own farmland. Araim, yeah.
Okay.
We're considered like farm workers. We own farmland. We do farmers. That's what we are. So that's what we always been. We landowners. So
okay.
The Jarts are more like, your truck drivers. You're like mid-level workers. So then they have the different classes. So you look for people in your own class or above.
And you can't go.
You don't go down.
Oh, well.
So Mullaks and Araim are pretty much considered the same class, because, it's like back then
blue collar.
You're more like white collar. Even though you're Araim, you're working in the fields, but you're landowners. You don't actually go work you don't work your own field. Okay. You have, you get your little servants to go do it. So my mom went shopping. She literally drove around. There's people out there that they make their money by arranging marriages. So people go to them, hey, I'm looking for my son or daughter. And
brokers.
Brokers, literally, that's what they are. No bullshit. They have like photos, and then you flip it over, and they got the whole bio on the back, like the families for this, like they're rich or like they're poor. Like,
this is insane. But carry on, please.
So then, my mom did like 50 people, and then she liked her, and my brother liked her, and they went with it.
This was your first one.
My brother's.
Okay. Oh, your brother's. Okay.
Yeah, mine's. I just told her I wanted her, and my dad went and made it happen.
Yeah.
And this one, my grandpa's brother. And my actual grandpa and my wife's dad were actually best friends.
Okay.
From way back in the days. My grandpa was a landowner, and he's a vet.
Okay.
And they used to always interact with each other, taking care of the bulls and everything, because back in the days you used bulls and plow the fields.
Yeah.
But afterwards they just stayed close.
Okay.
My grandpa passed away, so I was out there in Pakistan 3 years ago, and my grandpa's brother was like, hey, I want you to do something. Like, you're here, Amran's here. I know you guys are just here to, do some other stuff. But Nazir has a daughter. Like, that's my wife's dad's. She has 2 daughters. Why don't you go look at them? And my mom's like, oh, I don't know. Going back and forth. He's like, look, do it for me. Do it for me. Go look at them. Pick one and arrange your Amran suit. I'm like, I didn't know none of this.
Okay.
I'm out in the village. It's wheat season right now, so they're harvesting wheat. So I'm out there goofing around. I'm not doing anything productive. I'm just mostly in the way, you know, acting stupid, touching things I'm not supposed to touch.
Just being in town, yeah.
You know, I'm out there in the farm world. You know, hey, you know, Snapchat Live. You know,
You're like a YouTuber to your own community.
So I'm out there like, you know, I've got the shovel and I'm pretending like I'm digging. There's no need to be digging. We're actually cutting shit down. But, you know, hey, we're out here digging all the... No, we're not. We're actually harvesting. So I'm being stupid.
Yeah.
I get back home. My mom's all like, hey, there's these 4 girls sitting in the living room. Don't actually go look at them, but go in the room and look through because the rooms are on the wall outside. And the center is open. All the bedrooms are on the side wall. And then there's an open foyer type of area.
Yeah.
That's your living space. So go in the room, look out the window, and look at one of them, and then tell me which one you like. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, just go do it, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I did. I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, right? I'm like, she goes, well, I'm going to arrange you to the one that was wearing the black scarf. I'm like, Mom, 3 of them were wearing black scarves.
Yeah.
She's like, well, it's going to happen. Your grandpa's brother wants it done. It's going to happen. I'm like, okay. When? Friday. This is Wednesday. She goes, like, this. I'm like, this Friday? Because I leave this Sunday. Mm-hmm. She goes, yeah, we're going to do it Friday. You're leaving Sunday, we'll do it Friday. You know, you get a day. I'm like, are you serious? She goes, yeah. She goes, did you bring any clothes with you? I'm like, I doubt it.
Wait, what kind of clothes? What does that mean?
Like a suit or something? I'm like...
something nice?
Yeah, I'm like, I doubt it. I got t-shirts and jeans, and I think I got a dress shirt. Like, I had a white dress shirt and a tie.
Yeah.
That's what I wore.
Okay.
So then...
To your wedding?
To my wedding. So we go to this hotel down the street, and she comes, sits down, and I'm sitting next to her. I'm like, hey, do me a favor. She's like, what? Look, can you look this way? She goes, why? Because I want to know what you look like.
Wow.
She's all like, you seen me already? I'm like, no, I haven't. She goes, stop talking. I'm like, because we're not really supposed to talk to each other when we're sitting up there. Because it's like cultural, just like sit there and just like everybody comes up and you're like, oh, hey. So I'm like, hey, real fast. Just look at me. Like, I just want to make sure you don't got no moles on your face or anything. And you're not fat.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't tell any moles anyways with the amount of makeup she had on. I mean, it was like a thick layer of makeup. Like, she was like 2 shades whiter than she normally is.
Do people do her makeup for her?
Yeah.
Okay.
They went to a...
So they just piled it on in a hurry.
Like, pop.
Yeah.
No, it makes it look like a China doll. You know those like little China dolls?
Yeah.
Like, they look like
it's
that.
for the pictures then.
Yeah. So we get there. I look at her finally. I'm like, okay, I'm good. You know, it's not bad. So I'm happy. I'm like, all right, it's cool. It works. So we hang out and then that's it. And then we got married around lunchtime. She went home and I went home. And we just went home.
Hey, Amran, can you meet for lunch today? No, I'm getting married. I'll see you tomorrow.
No, I'll see you at dinner time because I was free after that. Like, we had dinner.
Yeah.
We had lunch, We had lunch and they went home and we went home.
Yeah.
They went back to their house and I went back to my house.
Okay.
I was like, so that's it, Mom? She goes, yeah, we're done. She's like, you got other stuff to do today? I'm like, nah, I got nothing to do. I'm like, all right, let me go change clothes then.
What the fuck,
So
man?
we changed clothes. Then Saturday, they invited us over for a lunch at the same hotel. So we go over for lunch and we hang out for a little bit. We did talk. And then Sunday I got on a plane and left.
So when's the next time you saw your wife?
When I went and picked her up.
Okay. And you picked her up where?
In Pakistan, a year and a half later.
So a year and a half you were married.
And we just talked on the phone.
Technically.
Yeah.
And you got to know each other through the phone.
Just the phone. But the first year, she wouldn't really talk.
Okay.
Like, you were just like, okay.
She wouldn't open up?
Like, she wouldn't conversate. And then at one point, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to talk. I do all talking. I'm just not going to talk. And she's like, why? I'm like, you talk. About what? I don't know. Like, she's never had an interaction with a guy before. This is her first interaction.
Oh, wow.
I'm like...
Wait. So she was a virgin.
Yeah.
Before she met you.
Yeah.
And this is culturally...
significant,
Like, okay.
important,
So the women are,
pure.
yeah.
You don't want no hoe.
So, okay, wait. So, and then we'll go back to the storyline, but you've been divorced.
Right.
Is that not anti-cultural?
Only if you're a woman.
Okay.
It's only a no-no if you're a woman.
Really?
Yeah. If you're a woman...
So, but this last one was you're doing. You divorced.
Technically, no.
See?
It was
so,
hers.
Okay, so then this was kind of like, this isn't supposed to happen this way?
What happened was, the first one, we got married. I went home. We used to talk to each other all the time. But she started messing around with some guy out there.
In Pakistan?
In Pakistan.
Okay.
She got here. Everything's good. We're happy. We're going out to eat. We're partying. We're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working the night shift at the clinic. And some guy randomly calls me. He was like, hey, I want to be a good Muslim brother to you. I'm like, bro, I don't need no brothers. I got one, right? What do you want? I want to share some stuff about you or your wife. I'm like, dude, whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to send you an email with everything. And he literally just sends me an email of photos of him and her, like, literally doing it. Like, making
That's
out.
nice.
And I'm just like, okay. So I go ask her about it. I'm like, what's going on, right? We all had infidelities in the past. I can't say I was perfect, And I'm like, whatever. She's young. I'm young. Shit happens. I was trying to be cool about it. I'm like,
Yeah, trying to be diplomatic, huh?
So I'm like, all right, what's going on? And then instead of her just be like, look, I started messing around with somebody. I'm sorry, da-da-da. And I would have moved on. It was more like, oh, I'm being blackmailed and he did this.
Oh.
And she started like going to this whole different realm with it. I'm like, look, just be open and honest.
Were you really this, like, leisurely about it?
Not at first.
Okay. So it came off a little more dramatic.
First was, what the fuck,
Yeah.
you cheating, stupid
Okay.
skank whore, da-da-da-da. You son of a bitch, I'll murder you. And
That's
da-da-da.
more like it.
A couple days later, I'm all calm down. I'm like, look, I'm trying to have a civil conversation. I'm like, look, dude, if some shit happened, I'll let it go. I'm not the best person either. Shit happens, mistakes happen. What do you really want to do? She's like, oh no, he's blackmailing me. And, it was like he was in a gang and this. I'm like, okay. Just, your story's all over the place. Like, you're making it seem like he abducted you and raped you and this and that. You look hella happy in these photos. Just tell me you guys were like, oh, it was off and on and we're not together no more.
Yeah.
We'll move on. So she's going back and forth saying this. A couple days later, my little sister finds a Facebook page with my wife and that guy. Well, it's their Facebook page.
Oh, they have a collective Facebook page.
They have one of those his and her Facebook pages with all their photos on
What
there.
the fuck?
And
What weird. And because you guys are in, it seems like you're all in the same community,
Right.
Especially culturally. Like if you're all surfing, these catalogs of each other, your families know about one another.
Right.
It seems really negligent for her to put a couple's Facebook page.
Well, they did it under somebody else's name. But because she was friends with my sister, you know how they, also give you suggestions back in the days, like, oh, they're friends with this, you might know them, right?
Yeah.
And it popped up. That's the only reason my little sister found it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, dude, I went back to her. I'm like, look, if you want to I'm going to give you the time and space to think about this and figure this shit out. Because I'll sleep in the other room. I'll give you the room. You go ahead and figure out what you want to do. Like, what do you really want to do here?
Yeah.
Do you want to be with me? Then cool. You want to be with him? Go be with him. It doesn't make a difference to me, Your choice, though. So, I gave her a couple of days to think about it. She goes, no, I want to be with you, da-da-da. I'm like, all right, fine. Another 2 months go by. Things are going great. They're perfect. All of a sudden, boom. Dude's back in the picture. She's getting all weird. And I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this. Like, I'm not going to keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
And obviously you want to be with him, go be with him. So we got her ticket, sent her back to Pakistan. And I was like, hey, sign these divorce papers, da-da-da. My mom's like, no, it's okay. She can do it. They can mail it back to us. 1.5 years, 2 years almost go by before I found her again. So finally found her after she actually served me with divorce papers.
These marriages and divorces are through the state.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so finally, she sent me divorce papers, and, so she finally sent me divorce papers out of nowhere. So I'm like, oh my God. And the guy who's serving me was kind of like scared. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Like, dude, I've been looking for her. And then he's looking at me, he's like, oh, I was told you might come off as violent aggressive. I'm like, no, I've been looking for her. I just have no idea where she was. You know, I heard rumors she was back in town. Like, oh, she was in Elk Grove. She was here. She was there. Like, we heard rumors, but I never could find her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. We go to court. She shows up with a domestic violence counselor.
What the fuck?
She's there. Like, it's me, my sister, my lawyer, her lawyer, and then a domestic violence counselor from Elk Grove, and her. And then we're all standing there talking, me and my lawyer, and then their lawyer walks up, was like, hey, how do you want to handle some of these paperwork? Do you want me to file them? You want to file them? Because they got to file them joint between lawyers. And I'm just standing there, and she's like, and the lady walks up, hi, I'm from a domestic violence counselor from Elk Grove. I'm like, domestic violence? I'm like, I ain't never fucking hit her. It's like, oh, you know, we had a couple of cases. She called us saying that you abused her. I'm like, abused her when? I haven't seen her in like almost 1.5 to 2 years, you know? So I go fucking ballistic. I'm like, man, fuck you guys. You stupid bitch. You want to see some domestic violence? So I'm going off. My sister's like, calm down. And then I'm like, fuck that. I didn't hit that bitch. And my lawyer's a female. Hers is a male.
Okay.
And my lawyer's like, calm down. I'm like, fuck you, Amanda. You stupid bitch.
Wow.
Like, you don't tell me shit. I pay you, you stupid. Oh, no. I'm going off.
Yeah.
The bailiff comes out. He's like, hey, man, calm down. I'm like, man, fuck you, you fat piece of shit.
Good Lord.
So I'm making a scene. So
yes, you are.
And then they walk me back to this little side room. They're like, you need to calm down. Man, I ain't hit that bitch. And then he's all like, does this really help your case, though?
Yeah.
And he's like,
good question.
He's this overweight sheriff's officer, old, and he's all like, does this really help your case? You're saying you didn't hit her, but yet you're over here cussing everyone out and lashing out. You go, I'm like, man, fuck you. Exactly what I'm saying right now to you, son. I was like, you need to calm down. I'm like, but I ain't never hit her. He goes, well, at this time, it kind of seems like you hit her.
Glad somebody said something.
And he's just calm about it. He's just like, you just need to calm down here. Because right now, you seem like an abusive type.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'm like, I'm standing there, I'm like, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
Like, where were you 10 minutes ago?
Yeah,
he goes, telling you to calm down.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I mean.
Wow. How dramatic.
And we were at General. We were all working together at General.
I remember.
Going through
I remember when you were tense. And because, like, when we were first getting to know each other, there was no drama going on. And then, you know, however much long later, you were preoccupied, and you could tell that you were.
But you know what it was?
Up.
What it was
even though you pretended not to be, but
the problem was, it's like I had so many side comments from like my mom's side of the family, like my mom's her sister's husband, her husband, and her husband's brother.
Okay.
They were like well off and shit. So he's like, you don't give that bitch shit. I'm like, I was like, motherfucker, you know how expensive? I was like, you know how expensive these lawyers are? You know, like I'm paying out like $1,500 like every 2 weeks for fees and shit. I'm like, and if they go into court, it's like $5,000. I'm like, I don't. And and my lawyer was like, I get paid from the minute I leave the office until the minute I get back, and all expenses in between. So if I go to Starbucks, I'm buying this bitch Starbucks. You know, if she goes to lunch, I'm buying her lunch.
Yeah. Anything on your time is your dime.
I was just like, dude, what the hell? I'm like, I can't keep affording this shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, all these and then they're having backdoor negotiations. My mom and my aunts and everybody are talking to the guys that she's living with, and they're trying to make deals in the background, which are fucking up my case because it's all. Then she's going to court. Well, her mom and dad, his mom said this, his aunt said this, and they're like bringing it up in court, so it's even dragging it out longer.
Yeah.
Finally, I get her number out of the court papers. I'm like, dude, I bet your phone number's in the court papers. Reach out to her. I'm like, we met actually at a park in Elk Grove. We're like, hey. I'm like, look, what you want, I don't have. You want $10,000 worth of gold. I don't have it. You want spousal support. I'm like, I can't afford it. I'm like, what do you really want? You want to come home? You could come home. I even give her the option. I'm like, you want to come home? Come home. I was all like, we can make it work. We can fix it. It's going to take time. We'll go to therapy or counseling, whatever you want to do. You want to come home? Come home. You want money? There is none. I'm like, we're in court all day long. I'm like, whatever savings I have is gone. At this point, I'm borrowing money. So you think you're going to get more? I'm like, there is no. I'm like, after I get paid, after everything's said and done, I'm like, I'm left with like $100. So what do you want to do? I left her at that and went home.
Yeah.
And then we went to court the next day, and she was just like, no, I just want to go ahead and sign the papers and move on.
Wow. What a long, expensive, drawn-out process.
It was like 6.5 to 8 months.
Damn. And then how much longer after that till you got married again?
Another 2 years after that.
2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. I was like...
And then that marriage arrangement you were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
that was your
it.
current wife
Yeah.
now. What is your... Well, no, let me not ask that.
Go for it.
No, I don't want to put her name out. I was going to ask what her name, but that's my own personal interest. Because we're recording, I won't ask that. But the first marriage that you talked about, it's just interesting because when people's relationships are handled like business,
Right.
and unemotional and sort of a Vulcan Vulcan-like process, it's not really a surprise that she fell in love with this other dude and like naturally had feelings for. And
Technically, a lot of that was on me too, because she was trying to communicate with me a lot, like call.
Yeah.
But I was also ignoring a lot of the calls because we worked early mornings and she would call late in the night, and because of 12-hour difference. So 6 o'clock in the morning here is 6 o'clock in the evening there.
Oh, yeah.
So she's calling me on her free time, but I'm sleeping.
Long distance, too.
And then when I had time, I would talk to her. But
why wasn't she here?
Visa process.
So
it takes time. But I also then a lot of the crazy shit was after we got divorced.
Yeah.
Like 7-8 months went by, almost a year went by. We started communicating again.
Yeah.
Like we were talking again.
Sure.
Like started talking. She used to live behind the Denny's at that on Richards, on the hub or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right behind, she was living there with some other girl.
Oh, wow.
So one of the guys, when I was on swing shift, one of the guys went there for lunch. He went to go get lunch, and she sent him a message like, "Oh, tell him I said hi. I'm his ex-wife." I'm like, okay. So we then reached out on Facebook and started going back and forth on Messenger.
Yeah.
Went on a couple of dates. We hung out, and we hooked up like twice, and then we're like, okay. I'm like, hey, like then she hits me up. She's like, oh, I heard you're going to Pakistan. You might be getting married. I'm like, no, we're not getting married. I'm just going out there with mom. She wants to go. I'm gonna tag along. I'm like, I got some time off. I got vacation. I'm gonna go out there.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, oh, what do you, if you get married, then what? I'm like, I get after the time. Like, look, what do you really want to do? Because she was talking to somebody else too at the same time. She's like, oh, I've been talking to this guy, this and that. I'm like, what do you really want to do here? Like, if you want to continue, like, you come home. You just got to show up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bring you home and this and that. I'm like, just show up. Just come home. If you want to come home so bad, just come home. And then she was like on the fence. Like, she was kind of lost in what she was doing.
Sure.
She was struggling with her own little demons. Like, she was emotionally kind of fucked up and shit. And so, like, she had other stuff she was dealing with. But she was just like, oh, I don't know. This and that. So I got married. She found out. She started crying, this and that. Then later on, like a year later, she got married to some guy she was going to school with. Now we're talking more than ever.
Huh. Why is that?
I have no idea. She started reaching out to me. Started talking about like stuff and like issues we're going through.
So, what do you want out of this?
I don't know.
You're not sure yet.
I'm not sure either.
Okay, so then let me ask you, like, how about your current marriage? Are you guys...
We had a really rocky start.
You don't mind this shit being on the podcast, by the way?
Huh.
Okay.
No, it's not like it's. I talk about it with everybody.
No, I get it. I'm not famous. No one listens to this, so why not?
Whatever.
Anyways, go ahead.
No, I'll tell her about it. She's gonna listen to it.
Okay.
I told her when I came.
So y'all get along.
At first, we did it. Mm-hmm. We always had issues.
I remember.
And then, like, everything was going good. Everything started going great. And then she would find things. Like, she would always bring up the past. Like, her thing is always bring up the past. Like, even now, like, right now is like, she wants to go to Pakistan for 3 months. I'm like, it's kind of rough. I really don't want you to take my son for 3 months because, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I'll come home and the first thing I do is, like, run to him.
Yeah, you'd go a little crazy.
Yeah. She's like, well, I want to leave for 3 months. I want to go spend time with my family. I want to take him back home. But at the same time, I'm like, he's young. You guys got some weird-ass fucking viruses and sicknesses. And we got dengue fever and shit running around, mosquitoes. And in summertime, it's like 110 degrees at night.
Yeah.
Like, we're more in a mid-desert area,
Yeah.
Low foothills into the desert type. And I'm like, it's hot as shit at night. I'm like, it's going to be hard for him. Plus, you guys don't have AC. No, my brother will get AC and this and that. And I'm like, I'm on the fence with it. And then she was working for a little bit, and I was paying all the bills. And so I'm like, I like, hey, let me get some, let me borrow $1,000. I'll give it to you back, right? Now it's like, oh, remember I gave you that money? I'm like, yeah, but I also gave it back to you. Well, I want interest. Okay. Now, so she basically burned through all the money she had. She wants me to give her more money so she can buy stuff for her sisters to take back to Pakistan.
Well, I mean, she still has to get her footing here in this new life with you and with a baby, and that's quite a bit. How much younger than you is she?
She's a lot younger. She's 27.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you just have to accept the challenge that you've got a young woman still in the early stages of figuring out what she wants to do.
The problem is, like, right now, my cousin, he got married too. Okay. And she's newly from Pakistan too. Like, they both came around the same time.
Right.
They are, like, 2 months apart from each other when they came here. They're really good friends with each other. But she's like, oh, they went out to eat with their baby. I'm like, their baby's 4 months old. Ours is 2 months old. And then, like, 2 days later, oh, their kid's sick. I'm like, yeah, because they fucking took him out when it's cold as shit outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're eager to go out to eat. She constantly wants to go out to eat.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I'm like, if you want to go out on Saturdays, we'll go. Like, I always tell her to go in the daytime. No, I want to go at night because then we can make cuter pictures and this and that. And I'm like, first off, we have a kid. Nighttime's really not our deal. We don't need to be out at night with the kid.
Sure.
Oh, but they take him out. I'm like, yes, they're bundling him up like crazy, but yet he's still getting sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, their kid got sick like 3-4 times already. God bless, we haven't got, fingers crossed, we haven't got there yet. But it's like, what the hell, man? I'm not gonna fucking take him out at nighttime to get him sick. I'm like overprotective. She's like, early morning. She's like, oh, let's go to Tower Cafe. I'm like, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. It was cold as shit outside.
Oh, but she's just tired of being at home.
No, she just likes to go out to eat. If I just take her out to eat every single day, she just wants to go out to eat. She's a little fatty. She'll straight up tell you, I just want, and then I'm like, why do you want to go back to, and then I was like, why do you want to go back to Pakistan? She's like, oh, I just want to go eat. She literally just wants to go back to eat.
Just wants to go back to eat.
Just eat and chill. And then over there, but see the cultural thing too, is like over there for 30 days, after that woman has a baby, they're not getting out of bed. They literally don't get out of bed for 30 days. They tell them, do not get out of bed.
By tradition or medically?
Traditional.
Okay.
Like, oh, you don't want to get out of bed because you're healing, so you need to stay in bed. Over here, you're told, like, hey, get up, walk, move. The more you walk, the more you move, the more everything heals better.
Yeah.
Then they're eating butter. Like, we're like, no butter.
What?
Yeah, butter.
Why are they eating butter?
They say it's good for you. It lubes up your insides. Legit. No bullshit. So we got this tub.
That's true, though. It is true.
We got this tub of butter, like organic butter, right? She literally was getting, like, her whole pregnancy. She would get a spoonful out, put it in the milk, stir it up, and melt it down, and drink it.
How weird.
All her food would have butter in it, and so when it, like, gets cold, it has this thick layer.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, hey, do you want some of this? I'm like, I don't want to die.
Yeah. Hell no.
I'm not going to fucking die.
I mean, I want some, but I understand.
Yeah. All she fucking does is, like, she wants everything with butter like that. Like, even now, she's like, oh, I'm supposed to be eating.
Butter me up.
Oh, I'm supposed to eat beef for this amount of time, and this amount of time I'm eating chicken. I'm like, okay, all that shit's unhealthy. Like, it doesn't make... Like, when she got home, my mom makes everyone chicken broth.
Let me ask you. Because there's a lot of talk about things that annoy you about her. What do you like about her?
We get... I don't know. We get along. Weirdly, we get along. I don't know why. Like,
I realize I shouldn't have asked you that question, but you know what?
And honestly, it's like the weird shit, we get along on some weird shit.
What do you mean weird shit? Like Death to America type shit?
Like, when all the dumb shit, like, after we get past the food, the money nonsense, if we're just hanging out, we can just laugh with each other.
Yeah.
And it works. I'm like, the little stuff works.
Okay.
But the main parts?
Sure.
For fuck's sakes, bro. The main parts don't work for shit.
Yeah, but I mean, you're living with a person that you don't really know too well, and vice versa for her.
And a lot of our we're literally two different people in the same house.
Okay, so, and I don't mean to be a counselor, but I just care about your relationship,
Right.
and I want you to be happy.
Right.
I want her to be happy. I don't even know her, but she deserves happiness.
Right. And
I just think you might want to find that time to just separate and go be with her and have more of that fun, playful energy together, because it will help work out all those other weird things.
before the kid came, I used to try a lot. Like, hey, let's go out. Let's go out to do this. Let's go do out to it. No. I saw my friend went here. I want to go there. So, like, she would see, like, other people go do stuff, and she wants to go do that exact same stuff. She's like, oh, my friends went to Paisanos. I want to go there, too. I'm like, okay, it's pasta. You don't like pasta.
What about, like, outdoorsy stuff? She's not an outdoorsy.
She's not outdoorsy. She's a foodie.
What would you be interested in doing?
I don't mind going out. Like, I tell her, like, hey, we could go out. Like, let's go out and let's go do stuff. Like, let's go. Like, I took her to San Francisco. Like, hey, let's go sightseeing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, everybody.
Did she like that?
No. She did. She was like anti. I took her to Chinatown. I'm like, oh, this is Chinatown. Da, da, da. I'm like talking and this and that. I'm like, oh, look at this. This is okay. I'm like, so we took her to Twin Peaks. I'm like, oh yeah, you can see the whole city and both of the bridges, and that's it.
Wow.
My friends went to eat at this restaurant. I want to go there, so we took her. I took her there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like none of this food.
So it's a lose-lose.
I'm
all
like,
the time.
okay. So she goes, I want to go to Olive Garden. I'm like, Olive Garden, okay. I'm like, pasta. Everything's pasta. Pasta, pasta, pasta. I'm like, you hate it.
Yeah.
We've been to Paisanos. You hated that, and you want. Oh, but my friends all went there. I want to go there. So we go there. I ordered my food, and before we order, we're sitting there. She's like looking at the menu. I don't like none of this. I was like, okay.
I hope and pray that you guys find common ground that will bond you, because unless you and this history of yours find a way back around and you ultimately end up... listen, I'm happy in my relationship.
Right.
And I find so much joy and pleasure out of it. I wish and pray for everybody else to experience the same, especially friends I've known for a long time. So I don't mean to butt in and try to counsel you, but I just, whatever goes forward in that relation, I hope you find happiness.
The problem that I'm starting to notice is like, she's like, I want to get my own house. I'm like, dude, they're moving out. The house is literally ours. I've been paying all the bills since 2010. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, they move out. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, but why are you paying the bills? You should be saving. I'm like, you're looking the short game. Like, you're like, oh, save up, and then we'll buy our own house. I'm like, why? I've been paying everything from 2010 to now. I'm like, all we have to do is just literally wait for them to move out, and it's done. And my mom already told her and to me, the house is your guys'. If anything happens to me, it's in the will. It's yours.
Okay.
So I'm like, why are you trying to run away?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do my own thing. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, you can do whatever you want. Mom doesn't stop you. Oh, it's not the same. It's not this. I want it my way. I want to do this my way. Like, my mom doesn't eat like traditional food no more because she's like really unhealthy right now. She's trying to lose weight.
Okay.
So she's like, steamed vegetables, fish, stuff like that. So she's not eating nothing traditional. I'm like, you can do whatever you want. Oh, but it's not my house. I'm like, okay. For a while, she's like, give me an apartment. I'll live in an apartment. You live at home. I'm like, you don't understand how it is in an apartment. So my sister was moving out of her apartment into a house recently. So I'm like, all right, go stay there for a little bit. Because there was still a bedroom and everything was still there. She's like, okay, fine. So she went there, because for the day. I'm like, go there for the day because mom's gone. Arfan's wife's hella crazy. Why don't you go there in the daytime and relax? Literally like 3 hours later, she's like, it's so noisy. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of apartment complexes. They're, depending on what kind you live in, they're noisy. I'm like, that's more of a busy apartment complex. A lot of Indian people, a lot of brown people, a lot of Hispanics that live in there. I'm like, it's loud. She goes, it's been like that since I got here. I'm like, yeah. Oh, she goes, I can hear the neighbors. I'm like, yeah, the walls aren't that thick. I'm like, they're apartment complexes. You can probably punch the whole wall and go see what they got going on.
Yeah.
Then she's like, oh, I don't want an apartment. I was like, okay. But now it's just like, I want my own house. I'm like, you're in a home. She doesn't understand that.
Sure.
Plus, her sisters, and they got, they're all married, and they're in their own homes, and, their husbands have their own homes. But they're like, I'm like, dude, that's Pakistan. It's different.
Yeah.
you could build a home for like 20 grand or
What
whatever.
what did she do back in Pakistan? Like,
She was
did
a-
she work? Did
yeah.
she go to school?
Well, she stayed home mostly and tutored.
She's a doctor, isn't
No,
she?
no, no. She's a tutor.
Oh.
She got a master's in math. I was
Okay.
trying to give me a doctor.
Oh, I see.
I was trying to get one. It didn't work out the way we wanted it to go.
Yeah.
Because we actually went and met with
Here,
one.
pull this cord towards you. No, like around the table that way. Then pull the little Velcro towards you. Fuck with it right there
Okay.
at the edge, because I can hear that shit. I want you to be able to fiddle if you want, but
I'm a fiddler.
yeah.
What do you want me to
I
do?
understand. No, that's what I'm
So-
saying. Like, just make sure it's away from the mic.
So fucking, I wanted a doctor. So then one of my aunts out there was like, "Hey, we got to keep this on low on this meet and greet. Like, we can't tell nobody you guys are actually having a meet and greet." So we go do a meet and greet. I don't meet with the girl. I actually meet with the girl's sister, the mom, and the dad. So we're sitting there, we're hanging out. They're like, "Oh, what do you do? This and that, da da da." And I told them like my history. I was like, "Oh, I was a medical assistant for this long. And went to school, did some LVN work, And right now I work at General Produce. I'm a production supervisor. Da 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 da. We're just having a conversation, just having our conversation." So they're like, "Oh, okay." They're like, "Oh, you have a Facebook?" I was like, "Not really." I was like, "There's old pictures on there." I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really do anything on social media, so like, I don't have oh, well, just give us the Facebook with what you have. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I give them the Facebook. They come back. They're like, my aunt's like, "Oh, why didn't you go to a parlor?" I'm like, "What the fuck's a parlor?" She goes, "Oh, like a beauty salon and, get some makeup put on." And I'm like, "Makeup?" She goes, "Yeah, guys here, they get like makeup and it like covers some of your freckles." I'm like, "My freckles? Like, my freckles are me. Like, that's me. That's who I am,
Yeah.
So they come back, and that's back. Remember, I was losing hair back then. I didn't get my hair transplanted then. So I was still
I forgot that you were ever without that hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Great job, Pakistan.
yeah, good $800, bro. Best $800
I
spent.
forgot. Like, it looks so natural.
Yeah, it's me. I'm happy with it now, right?
It's beautiful. Good job.
So they come back. They call my mom like a couple days later. They're like, "Hey, so does your son want to go back to the medical field?" My mom's like, "Yeah, he does. He just right now he's doing it because he's trying to help support the house, run the house,
Because you guys are what did you say? Arai?
Right, yeah. So she was asking if I was going to go back into the medical field because I was already working. I told him I want to go back to school eventually. But I've always been working, so kind of support the house, run the house. 'Cause my brother,
yeah.
I'm paying all the bills. So it's hard to work and go to school.
You're the only one bringing in the bread.
Well, my brother makes more than I do, but he didn't want to pay for anything. Literally, he don't want to.
He shouldn't have to. He's a prince.
Yeah, gold spoon. Get the golden spoon type of bullshit. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right. He's older though. He should be paying for everything.
How much older?
He's your age.
39?
Yeah, 38, 39. And
Well, yeah, I agree with
so
you.
I am,
By now, we should be,
yeah,
I mean,
self-sufficient. But it's not.
or at least all in
Yeah, but him and
in
his
a
wife.
partnership.
Yeah, so they come back. They're like, "Oh, if he goes back to the medical field, and if he had more hair." They're literally knocked on the hair. I'm like,
Dang, man, they're really just whatever they want to say.
they're they're a little frank and more open out there, And then they come back to my mom's like, "Oh," and my mom's like, "So."
I can just see him like, it's just those damn freckles.
Well, no, it wasn't even the freckles.
I know.
It was just the hair. They're like, "Oh, his hair, like, oh, he's going
freckles.
bald." We like everything else, but maybe
Wow,
if it was.
that's
And I was just
fucked up.
like, I didn't even see her. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
You're
so
like this piece of meat.
I was all like, I kind of feel dirty.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, "What?" I'm like, I feel dirty about this.
But what I come to understand is I think that your culture, they've been doing online dating before it was even a thing.
Well,
Technically, because they all know each other. They
Yeah.
have some way of tapping into some list, some Rolodex of
there's always
suitors.
somebody. Because my sister got married. My older sister was arranged marriage because it's a well-known family in the town we're in, and we're known in that town, and boom, done.
The Sarwars?
Yeah, well, not the Star Wars. What's my grandpa's last name? Fuck. I have no idea what my grandpa's last name is.
Okay.
So they're known. They're known in that family because they owned half the fucking village and they owned a little bit of the town. They got like one whole street is theirs. Like
Plus, I would imagine when you're back in town, everybody knows Amron's back in town. He won't shut the fuck up digging holes when we're pulling wheat.
No. When it's back in town, they know my mom's back in town. Oh, Nasra's back in town. Oh, Nasra's back or Abdul's back. And this way they know.
That's funny.
They know my mom's back. We're gonna come try to get some money. Like everyone, all the freeloaders come out. Like hey sister, how are you? I'm like, Mom, who the fuck is this?
Bunch of moochers.
And they're like, oh, her son needs a cataract surgery. I'm like, cataract? How old is this fool? Like, oh, the dirt they cause. Everybody getting their eyes done. Like, oh, get everybody. Like, why do you need my eyes done? Basically, you're getting LASIK surgery. You don't want to wear. They don't want to wear glasses.
Okay.
So they go, oh, we need our eyes fixed.
Why don't they want to wear glasses?
It's just not a thing out there. They just you get 100,000 rupees and, get some LASIK. So it's like 100.
I guess it's more cost effective.
Yeah.
Instead of having to buy glasses.
They didn't want to do glasses. That's all it is. So they get LASIK done. And they're always, they want to get their eyes done. I told my mom, like, Mom, why are we paying for people? Like, what's wrong with their eyes? Like, are they blind? Oh, no, it's just, they don't want to wear glasses. That's not a reason to get fucking LASIK. It's like a common thing out there. Like, you can get any procedure you want. When I got my hair transplant done, the guy's like, you want to get rid of your freckles? I got a gun and a laser gun in the next room. Like, we can get rid of them.
Fuck. Man. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How old were you when you came to the States?
I was born here.
You were born here?
Born here.
I don't know why I thought you were born in Pakistan.
My dad came here in 1962.
Oh, okay.
So he's been here for a long time.
Where were you born exactly?
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Yeah. My dad, when he came here, he landed here. He landed in Yuba City.
Okay, so then what age were you when you first went to Pakistan?
Like 7 or 8, my mom took us. We used to go when we were younger. Every summer, every other summer, we used to go when we were younger.
Was there a build-up to getting you back to the homeland? What is it?
No. My dad wasn't a really big fan of going back a lot because my dad, he went back maybe twice in his whole life.
Why?
Once was his mom passed away, so he went home. And the second time he went was with me and my brother got married. That's when he went. Me, my brother, and my uncle got married.
But otherwise, he didn't really care about.
He's like, I got no reason to go back. I got nothing there.
What is the village called in Pakistan?
The one we live in is Tingajani.
Tingajani.
It's basically village number 3.
That's what that translates to?
Yeah, it translates to number 3.
Village
number 3.
Say it again?
Tingajani.
Tingajani.
Yeah, it's basically village number 3.
Yeah.
And all their villages are like numbered 1, 2,
so
3.
Gajani is a village?
Yeah. So they're basically like village number 3.
Tingajani. That's cool to know.
The only downside about our village is we have a lot of hoodlums in our village. Like,
what do you mean?
Our village is just...
There's hoodlums in every village.
No. Our village... Me and my mom were leaving after I got married. So we went back to the village, say kind of bye to all our, people there, whatever, everything. We're leaving. We heard like a whole bunch of gunfire. And so my mom was like, tell my driver, like, hey, kind of go faster. Like, go faster. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We find out when we landed, they killed the whole bloodline because the chief of the village, the chief is just there to like collect taxes for the government. He collects all the taxes for the village and then sends it off to the government. They killed the entire bloodline. I mean, from the dad down to the 5-year-old son. They killed the entire bloodline. When we were leaving, that's what they did. Oh. And it's like, and there was a lot of killing in our village.
Is this culturally accepted?
No.
Okay, so it's illegal just like it would be here. Okay.
So basically, they rounded up like a family of like 15 guys. They all went to jail, but then they make these like fake affidavits. Oh, he was home, he was here, he was here. They all got released. Nobody really gets charged. As long as you have like an affidavit written up by somebody saying where you were at the time, they get released. You have to have evidence, like hardcore, I seen him there doing it type of situation. But no one's seen anything, so...
They don't invest a lot of resources into...
If you got people to write... If you're going to write down a witness statement, then yeah, we'll do it. If not, then no. Damn. And everybody got out. And it's like normal. Killing out there is normal. Like, you don't go into the village at night. Like, there's a bridge. You don't cross over that bridge to go in because people usually hide out underneath and they'll rob you.
So is that understood culturally? Like, no, death is not like a big... Yeah.
In our village...
Murder is fairly normal?
In our village, yeah.
So do you and your family all feel that way? Like, is it kind of like if your neighbor died in the village, you'd be like, well, Shit happens.
Well, we're like, then you kind of like, oh, we told them not to fuck around with that family.
Yeah.
Like,
is it not as traumatizing as what I think I'm getting
out
at?
there? No, it's not that traumatizing.
Huh.
I mean, like, in our, like, because I was just like, my mom was like, hey, you know, remember that gunfire? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, kill the chief. Shit happens. My mom's just calm about it. I'm like, what? I'm like, how many people they killed? Like, yeah, like 4 or 5, all the sons. I'm like, I'm like, Mom, they killed the whole bloodline? And she goes, yeah. They didn't want him to be chief no more.
That's crazy.
I'm like, there's no perks to being chief except you get like a salary.
Yeah, but you're just a target.
I'm like, dude, it's not like he has any real say of what goes on. All he does is collect the taxes for the year.
Yeah.
Sends them off. Somebody else wanted to be chief, and that's all it was.
Sounds more like a curse.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean,
fuck that.
I'm like, this place is crazy.
Yeah. Do you like it there?
I like. After a while, you get bored. It's fun being there for like 2 weeks, but then anything after 2 weeks is just like, all right, I already did everything. I don't want to go back and do that again. And
what is like the village like? Because in my mind, I'm picturing like a flea market every day, and then
no, it's
huts
not that.
And like I keep picturing for some reason like little cities in Africa.
Everything's like adobe houses and stuff. You know, you got like. Everything's like mud walls and mud rooms.
Right.
And then you have like really big open yards, like just one big, it's all bricks, you know?
Okay.
And then there's like 2-3 rooms in the back.
If I went with you to your village,
right,
would that be problematic?
No.
Do you think they would?
They don't really, outsiders are not a thing. Like when my friend Jason, he really wanted to go back with me. He's like, oh, I'm going to go with you if you're going to get married. This and I'm like, dude, we can go.
Yeah.
But it's obtaining the damn visa that caused the issue. Like, he got his passport and everything. We went down to Santa Monica to go to the embassy to get the visa.
You need a visa to go to Pakistan?
Yeah. It's one of those countries that you have to get a visa. India, you don't need a visa. They'll let you in. Come on in. That's why tourism is really high over there.
Yeah.
Ours, we don't got that many tourists.
Interesting.
But they started asking them, like, oh, we need your father's passport. We need your mother's passport. We need your birth certificates, we need this, and it's like hella unnecessary. We need your school documentation. I'm like, why do you need your school documentation? I'm like, dude, you guys make it really hard for people to try to even go visit. Oh, we want to know who they are before they, and why are they coming? Yeah. So, and then I'm like, dude, the amount of paperwork you guys want is not even worth it.
Let me ask you this. Now, in your village, is the perspective on America, is that there like a harsh perspective? Is it not nearly as dramatic as
no
one ignorant person like myself would think?
They think we're all balling out of control. They think like money flowing and shit. They're like
spoiled ass
like
Americans.
My grandpa's servants and shit. They're like, because he raised some kids that were orphans. They very much like they live in his home in the village. He has a home in the city where he always went to. But in the village, they live there and they maintain his fields and everything. They were like, oh, hey, slide us 100. The fuck, bro? You know how hard I gotta work for 100? Like, you guys are all rich. I'm like, okay.
So Americans are rich.
They think we're all just balling out of control. He's like, before you leave, buy me an iPhone. Bro, I don't got an iPhone. Like, they're just like very calm about it. Like, hey, before you leave, buy me a car.
Yeah,
like,
give me a laptop,
bro.
quick.
Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I work a 9 to 5. That's like ends up being like I work ridiculous amount of hours. Like, no. You guys are all rich. You're all like, you're all fucking bosses and shit. Here, we are bosses here in Pakistan. In America, we're mid-level workers and mediocre mid-level families.
So, and another ignorant question from me is like politics in Pakistan, the government there versus the government here. I don't know if it's as, night and day as one would think. It is.
It is. Because out there, it's like, you got like chairmans for each village. Like, you got like representatives for each village. But the part, like, when people run for it, you don't really do nothing. Well, if you get elected, like my uncle got elected. Well, when we were out there last time, he got elected to his village that he runs to be basically the assemblyman for that village.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, man, what do you really do? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I know politics in America, but what do you do for your village?
Yeah.
Nothing. I get paid. I get an office and I get paid. I'm like, you don't do like, hey, let me fix some roads, let me make some new laws and stuff like that. He goes, no, that's work. I just go to my office, sit there. I got a servant. He brings me tea and lunch, and then, if somebody got some complaints, they come by, they file them, and I pretend like I'm going to do something, but I'm not going to do nothing about it. I'm like, is that pretty much everybody? He goes, the villages, yeah, the city is a little bit more different, but the villages, yeah, for the most part.
Interesting.
And they would give away crock pot. Here's the fucking funny part. So he had posters made up, him and his partner, right? And they had like a tiger in the corner and a crock pot on the bottom. I'm like, why is there a crock pot on the bottom? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know how to read that language. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how to read it. So I'm looking out. I see posters of my uncle.
You can't read, but you can speak it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that. I'm like, what does that say, bro? Like, why is there a crock pot on there? I don't understand why there's a crock pot. Oh, if you vote for us, we give you a crock pot. I was like, is that the...
It's like, I can hear the people in the street like, are you voting? Hell yeah, I'm voting. Why? Who you voting for? I don't care. I just need a crock pot, bro.
Yeah.
Ours broke last year.
That's what it was. Like, and like, this other guy had a pressure cooker on his, and the other one had like, books and stuff. I'm like, wait.
So when these people are elected to be some sort of government official,
right? They
don't do anything. Is that because they are limited in what their influence can be?
No, they just
can they use funds to
they
progress
get money. They get money. They get the whole nine. But what they do is, I don't want to do none of it. I don't want to. That's just a choice. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you want to do? Nothing.
So they're mostly lazy.
It is what it is. There's like, oh hey, do you really want that money for that road?
Have you been to Mexico?
Yeah. Last year, actually, went. No. Yeah, last November.
Where in Mexico?
This small town called La Garita.
Okay.
And then from there, I ended up in Zapanatejo, which is like an hour outside of Guadalajara.
Yeah.
I was there, I was like about a week.
Now, what is the comparison between a village in Mexico versus your village?
Exactly the same.
Is it really?
Yeah, I was surprised of I was like, I feel like I'm back home, but what taco stand?
Sure.
Instead of samosas and fucking fruit chart, we got tacos.
Now, the other question is, do you prefer that type of culture versus like Sacramento culture, city living, major city in the U.S.? I'm sure there's a vast difference between villages and a metropolitan city.
The villages are like, they're fun. In Pakistan, and then even in Mexico, I had more fun in the village than I did in the city. I don't know. It was just maybe it's just me. But like, you're hanging out more. You're more like with your family, your friends. You're barbecuing. You're having fun. You're playing music. And in the city, like my uncles in the city, they're all snobs. They're all like, you don't do that. Sit straight. We don't do that kind of stuff. In the village, it's like my uncles in the village are like, hey, what's up? You want to go? I know a guy who has alcohol. You want to go get some? Hey, let's go have some fun. I'm like, all right, this is what I'm talking about. He's like, hey, we got poppers. I'm like, what the hell is that? I was like, I don't want to get fucked up. He goes, no. Basically, it's weed ground into like flour, tortillas, and then they fry them up, and then you have shit, they're called poppers. I'm like, sounds like fun. All right, let's go. You want some almond milk too? I'm like, what's in the almond milk? They go, almonds, and they put it blended with the milk, and they add some weed. I'm like, this is gonna be a fun time. Like, I want to go.
This popping pot is popping shit.
I was like, I want to go have a fun. I'm in the village. They're like, have a seat. We're watching the news. It's gonna be great. I'm like, but I'm hungry and I want to get fucked up.
Wait, okay. I gotta ask this question. How do they feel about Donald Trump?
They don't like him. They think that he's shutting down the borders. We can't come to America no more. And I'm like, dude, he's actually pretty cool. He got me a fucking pay raise.
Do you think that perspective's changing little by little?
No.
Or they're pretty hard up on fuck Trump?
Even here, like all the brown people here, like in my family and stuff, like, oh, he's a fucking asshole. He's shutting the borders down. And I'm like, we're not on the country of they're shutting the borders down, though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's making it harder for us to get here. And then, like, you'll hear, like, when you go to, like, parties and stuff, and, like, you hear, like, my daughter-in-law or my son-in-law can't come for, like, another 7 months because Donald Trump made it harder to get in America. I'm like, I don't think he made it harder. I'm like, he got a little more background checking to do it, but that's cool. I'm like, you guys are making it seem like he's stopping you guys. Oh, he's banning Muslim countries. I'm like, yeah, but we're not on the list. I'm like, have you seen the list? We're not on the list. I'm like, does it?
It's all about the details, isn't
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, did you guys read the list? Because we're not on the list. Yeah. I'm like, it's like Iran, Iraq, Jordan, and all these terrorist ass countries. I'm like, we're not on the list, right? He's like, oh yeah, we can't do each other. I'm like, you people. I'm like, they're like, oh, do you like them? I'm like, cut me a pay raise, bro. What am I gonna do? I'm like, less taxes for me.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, did you know he gave me $45 per check? They're like, that's why you like him? I'm like, fuck yeah, I like anybody who gives me a pay raise.
That's really funny.
My uncle's like, you can't like him. I'm like, what do you mean I can't like him? He hates Muslims and that. I'm like, he never said he hates us. He just hates terrorists. He blew some people up. What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah.
He gave me a pay raise. He gave you a pay raise. And like, it doesn't matter.
What do you know about Iran, and more specifically about Soleimani, the general that was annihilated?
Not much.
Okay.
I tried to look him up later, but I was, to be honest with you, I'm like, fuck it. He just killed some brown person. Who cares? Everybody's like, oh, we're going to World War III and this and that. I'm like, yeah. I'm not.
I felt that way.
I was like, I'm not going to get drafted. I'm like, they test me. I'm testing positive for hydrocodone. My back is messed up anyways. I'm like,
I'll be useless.
I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to be in a communication room talk,
Yeah.
I'll do some translating or some shit.
Sure.
I was like, the highlight of my day is going to be right there. I'm like, I'm not going to battle. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to get drafted. And we're at a party. Because, they invite you over for, like, when your wife comes or you have a kid. Come over and have some dinner with us. And everybody's like, oh, we're going to have World War III. We're going to get drafted. I'm like, no, I'm not. It's like, yeah, you are. You're in the age group. I'm like, well, first off, got a fucked up back.
Yeah.
Second, I take pills. There you go. I was like, I'm going to test positive. I'm like, me going through withdrawals is not a situation.
Yeah, y'all don't want to trigger right behind that finger. You definitely don't want that.
I was like, I'm not going to get through basic camp,
Yeah.
But they're like, in 6 weeks. I'm like, 6 weeks of me doing still pills. And I'm like, my back hurts. I'm like, dude, y'all going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I'm not getting drafted.
Yeah, you might want to throw yourself down some stairs right quick.
They're like, oh, your dad got drafted. I'm like, no, he didn't. My dad had a bum knee. I'm like, you guys don't know the whole damn story. It's like, no, your dad got drafted into the Indian Army. I'm like, no, he didn't. He got dragged into boot camp, but they kicked him out because they found out he had a bum knee.
Funny.
They're like, no, your dad was gone. Your dad was gone for almost 6 months. I'm like, yeah. My dad got dragged into boot camp for 6 months in the Indian Army, but they kicked him out because of his knee was messed up. They're like, oh, well, we thought he was in the Army. I'm like, he told you guys he wasn't. Because my dad actually got drafted into the Army before the partition. Because when the partition was happening, they were separating Indian.
So he technically was, and then it just didn't. Because he wasn't the right candidate.
But he had a bum knee.
Yeah.
Because he always had like knee problems since he was.
Technicality.
Yeah, he got injured when he was young, and he always had knee problems. And so he could walk fine, but after a while, it'll start hurting.
Yeah.
So they found out he was like slightly tear meniscus or whatever, and they said, you're not fit to do it.
Yeah.
But he went for boot camp for like 6 months. And everyone's like, oh, he's a part of the Army. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He went.
Not really.
He went through training, did the stuff, and then he even told me, he's like, yeah, I did the training, but my knee kept hurting. Like, my knee hurt.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, you're like Peter Griffin, like, and he's like, no, it's not like that. I'm like, Dad, yeah, you were.
Question for you. When you come back from your stints out in Pakistan and you come back to the U.S., and you deal with customs and things like that, is it ever extra difficult? Do you ever feel like the pressure just by the aesthetics that you present?
Well, I felt like I was screened more coming from Mexico than I've ever got from Pakistan. Like, only time they really, like, I got back from Pakistan, they're like, oh, what are you carrying, this and that. Like, I'm like, oh, I got my, and then I was like, yeah, I got my wedding album, and then, I got a few other things. Like, oh, did you get married out there? I'm like, oh, not this trip. This is my album, from a long time ago. I just never bring it, and bring it with me like now. And the guy's kind of looking at me like, why not? I'm like, it wasn't ready at the time, so they got it ready. It's from my first marriage, so I got it with me. Mm-hmm. It's like, your first marriage? I'm like, yeah, I'm first marriage. I got first marriage, got divorced, went back, so I got they gave me my album. I was like, why did you carry it with you? I'm like, I got some good photos of my dad in there, and the guy's looking at me. When I got back from Mexico, the guy was like, so are you bringing anything with you? I'm like, no. He's all like, how many bags do you have? My backpack? He's like, oh, you didn't bring any souvenirs? I'm like, no. He's like, why? And then he starts asking hella questions. He's like, well, just come on over here. Let's check your backpack.
This was from Mexico.
From Mexico, yeah. And they screened me more from Mexico than they ever did from Pakistan.
I guess that makes sense.
Because they're like, I come back with no souvenirs, no money, no nothing. And they're like, oh, do you have any pesos, dollars? I'm like, nah, I got my debit card. That's pretty much about it.
Yeah. You know, from what I understand, especially with this whole fentanyl thing, that Mexico is a great business opportunity for large companies or people with big pockets who can make shit happen in terms of drugs.
Well, I mean...
So it makes sense that they're more concerned with that border than most other borders.
Yeah, but, like, we came back... Well, me and my wife came back. They put her to the room. Like, we had to go... They were like, hey, we had to go to this separate room. So me and my wife went to that separate room, and then they're like, there's a bunch of people sitting there. And there was this Asian guy up there, and they're asking him hella questions and shit. They're like, oh, why are you coming back to the country? This and that, whoop-de-whoop. And they're like... They're talking to him, and then all of a sudden, this guy comes out, like, we're going to go ahead and deny you. You're going to put you back on the first flight to Japan. And we're like, oh, shit.
Damn.
You're getting kicked out. I'm like, so we're sitting there. This other husband and wife, they're on the same flight with us. They go up, they start talking to him, and then they give them the paperwork, and the lady's like, doesn't have her shit together. Like, doesn't have all her paperwork in order. They're like, this is unacceptable, ma'am. You're going to have to go sit down and get your paperwork together. We're going to have to send you back on your flight, on the next flight out. I'm like, oh, shit, So my sister had given me all the papers already. So I had all the paperwork. I had her paperwork. I kind of put it together. My sister kind of walked me through it. So I walked up, gave them all, like, they're like, oh, sir, we don't want to talk to you. Go have a seat. We're going to talk to her. So they got a translator to talk to her. And then she gave them all the paperwork, and we sat down. We're sitting there. About an hour later, they're like, all right, go ahead and go. They gave us all our paperwork back, and they gave us this little white form that we have to pay like $495 within 90 days. And they'll send us our green card. We're like, okay. They're like, well, have a great day. That was it. And I was like, all right, peace. We're out of here, bitches.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was kind of irritated that I had to sit there that long, though.
Sure.
Because you're like, dude, my fucking back hurts. I'm like, I've been on this flight. Like, and they wouldn't let me walk around. Like, I just want to walk around and, like, stretch my legs and everything. The guy was like, hey, sir, can you sit down, please? I'm like, man, I've been on a flight for 18 hours almost, bro. Just let me walk around. Like, no, we need you seated, and we can't have you guys walking around, It's distracting and everything. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, you could. I'm like, well, can I go outside? And when you guys call our name, we'll come back. No, you guys have to stay here and wait. And then on the way out, I'm like, so I thought they were gonna check our luggage and shit and everything. They didn't do it. They're like, we had hella like sweets and stuff, like stuff you're not supposed to have. So I'm like, I hope they don't check our luggage.
Yeah.
We bring back plants. My mom wanted me to bring back these little trees and stuff, and she wanted to plant them at my uncle's house. And so we had all these little tree shoots and seeds and all sorts of stuff we're not supposed to have. So we're like,
sure.
So we get up there, the guys are like, anything to declare? I'm like, fucking glad I'm back, man. I was like,
declare to be happy.
I was like, good old America corn fed. Yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about. I was all like, how's the weather, man? And he's all like, oh, man, it's cool 80s and stuff right now. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. It was 110 where I was. Goddamn sand niggers.
Fuck that, man.
I straight up tell this white guy, fucking goddamn sand niggers out there, bro, burning up and shit, camel jock. And he looking at me like, Go ahead and go left.
Get out of my face all that.
He said go left. Right when he said go left, that's around the scanner. So we go left and we walk out the door. I'm like, hurry up. My wife's like, oh, we don't have to go there. I'm like, shut up. Come on, hurry up. Let's go.
Damn.
I was like, you really want to get caught with fucking these trees and all this shit? Next thing you know, we're in another room getting searched and shit.
Let's get the hell up on out of here.
I was like, we hurried up and walked out. My mom's standing there. She said, what took so long? Like, and they had to give her some papers and shit. And then we just walked out. I'm like, but...
What is the homeless situation like back in
over
Pakistan?
There's homeless, but you can just make yourself a hut anywhere you want. Like if there's open, like
so like the rules and regulations in terms of home building are not.
There's no like code department that's gonna come out there and be like, "Hey,
that's what I mean."
This is
no code enforcement.
You cannot have
you can't have this type of mud.
Yeah, your mud is.
You gotta use grade 3 mud. You definitely can't. This is grade 4. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, you don't have enough straw mixture in your mud there. Is that a 1 to 3 mixture? We need a 1 to 4.
Are those McDonald's straws? You can't use just any straw. You gotta use the ground stuff. This is bullshit. Take it down.
They're like, is that cotton sticks? Cotton sticks.
Give me the water bottle. We're taking this down.
They don't really care. Like, throw some bricks.
So nobody's technically like forced to be homeless. It's just lazy.
Well,
Like you could build a house, get off your ass, and
like,
build the house.
Go get a bunch of branches,
Yeah.
cut some trees down, fucking put it up, pitch a tent. And a lot of people do. What they do is they do them on the side of the road. Like, they have these medians in
Yeah.
between, like, the actual people's land starts and the road. There's like a variance in between. And they let the homeless people go ahead. You can have this little strip of, it's not too big, but it's big enough. You can grow some crops and have a couple of animals and call it a day. They tell them it. You can just have it, The government just tells the people, like, here's a strip right in between.
Interesting.
It's like, so it'll be like the railroad, say, for a lot of railroads. So it's like the railroad tracks and the road. In between that little, there's like about, like, say, 800, 900, foot wide and stuff. It's like, you can have this. And it's wide, wide.
It's all deserty though, right?
Yeah, but then there's water flowing by there, so you can, convert the canals and everything and have
But
water.
you can't do that in the city.
No.
Only in the villages.
Outside the city. Outside the city.
So are there homeless people in the city?
Yeah. Homeless people come into the city to beg and stuff.
Oh, but they live on the outskirts
Outside,
where
yeah.
they can make a patch of dirt for
Still
themselves.
have a house and everything, but they're still struggling.
Would you consider that situation better than the U.S., better than the one here in Sacramento?
The thing with Sacramento, over there, homeless people still will have it better. You can go beg and get some money and stuff. Like, if you're hungry, people will give you still money. Oh, hey, I'm hungry, this and that.
Sure.
They'll give you money. Over here, it's like, over there, they know they can work. Like, they can go get work in the fields, they get some money. They're fine. You know what I mean? They're okay. They're not like struggling, living in the streets, gutters, and all this and that.
But they're not doing background checks for every single job or drug tests or any of that. They can just go get actual
they're working in a factory.
work.
They have to do like labor work. They'll go work in the factories, and because everything's still done by hand. Like, if you're loading a truck of grain, you got to carry it and load it on there. So they got people that would just walk up, carry it, slap it on there, doing it. They're doing it all day. They have like teams. So like during the harvest season, the homeless people can make money.
Yeah.
Over here, it's like, I like being homeless. I like drinking all day long, and I want to do drugs and this and that, or I don't want to have a job. And then when we're doing background checks, somebody comes in when they do an interview, oh, your feet are dirty and your shoes are this and that, but over there it's like, you ain't got no shoes. It's okay. Come on in.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get your hand cut off. And then there's no workers' comp over there.
Yeah.
There's no workers' comp, or like, if OSHA is going to come and like, hey, you got 17 guys out there with bare feet,
right.
And you're no hard hats and stuff. Why they're wearing scarves around their heads.
How do you think we could improve the homeless situation here? I'm asking all this because I've recently been in a rabbit hole online with homelessness and trying to wrap my head around what's actually happening, because it's growing exponentially.
No. Because they keep decriminalizing stuff. So if you go to San Francisco, right, or even around here, they decriminalize crime to like $3,000. It has to be like $3,000 for them to come out, like worth of damage. So you have to be like, hey man, they stole my car, so the cops would come out. But if they broke my window, it's okay, we're not coming out.
Yeah.
So these Democrats, they're in San Francisco a couple while back, and they're at this hotel, and they had their luggage in the car, the whole nine. They come out, their windows are broken, the luggage is stolen. All their stuff is gone. And they call the cops. The cops are like, oh, how much do you think, they're like, oh, hey, my car got broken into. Like, what do you think the value is? Oh, about $1,000. Okay, we're not coming out. Just file a report online. And these are the guys that actually voted to decriminalize it. So, like, how do you feel now? But here in Sacramento, there's hella programs. Like, it's ridiculous how easy it is to actually qualify for this stuff until actually you need it. Like, when they got let go of me from General, I need to get insurance from me and my wife. So I go down to the county, go apply for Medi-Cal. They're like, hey, do you guys want to apply for food stamps? I'm like, for fucking food stamps? All right, let's apply for food stamps, They're like, oh, do you want some, you want
More the merrier.
You want some cash aid? I'm like, oh, you want to give me money?
Yeah.
Sure, let's apply for that. So they go, okay, do you have a last pay stub? And my last paycheck was $900. Like, oh, well, you made too much, this month. So next month on the 5th, you'll get some money. I'm like, okay, cool. Next month on the 5th. Right? Apply for unemployment, did my thing. We end up getting like $400 grocery money and another $600 in cash. I'm like, wait, why the hell people just don't go apply for this? Like, you could just go apply for it. And they're like, oh, you only get it for 48 months. We'll only give you this amount for 48 months. After 48 months, you won't get it for the rest of your life. I'm like, okay, so just put it under my wife's name then. So right now, my wife. But the crazy thing is, right now, even when I'm working, my wife still gets food stamps and cash aid.
Oh.
So
how is that possible?
Because she has no income. So they're basing it off of her income.
Okay. I guess, okay.
Because you could just scam the system. It's literally just scamming the system. I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious? Like right now, like you...
Well, kind of, but at the same time, one person's income is difficult to manage a household full of people.
Yeah, but they're just like, you can't make more than $900 a month. She doesn't make $900 a month because it's under her name. I was like, I'll put it under her name. Yeah. Right? So everything's still under her name. You can still continue to scam the system for like, we can do it for another year and a half. Easy. And why? Because it's under her name, not mine.
Do you find it helpful?
Totally, yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny. I'm like, I got to pay for groceries? All right.
Yeah.
But
you have a better quality of life because of that.
The funny part is the first time I went, I was like, I'm standing in line. It was 5th of the month. We're at food code as everybody else,
Yeah.
Our cart's not as full as everybody else's. And the lady behind me looks at me. She's all like, it's your first time, huh? I was like, what? What do you mean my first time? This black lady. It's like, your first time, huh? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. For what? She goes, you got your SNAP benefits, huh? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's my first time. And she's like, yeah, I could tell you kind of looked like your cart was a little full, but then you kind of like went back on it, like, I'll save some money for that. She's like, just to buy everything at one time. It's easier. I'm like, oh. Okay, I was wondering why everybody buys everything at one time. She goes, it's easier. Fill up your fridge now. You don't got to keep coming back and forth.
Yeah.
She goes, you got cash aid, right? I'm like, yeah, they gave me money. She goes, take all that shit out. Go to ATM machine.
Yeah.
You can take it out here or you can go to ATM machine, but it's easier to go to ATM machine. I'm like, oh, any ATM machine? Yeah, they just take it out. They take out like $3. So just find out your balance. And she walked me through the whole process. I was like, man, you told me more information than the county people did.
So do you think that a lot of the homelessness is by choice?
It's by choice.
Okay. Now, the next question is, do you think that it's unreasonable for them to just tent up anywhere in the city? Do you think that they should have their own, like, government-provided property that they could sort their own square out?
They tried that before. They gave the government, in Placer County, they actually gave them a little slot of land. Like, here's this little slot of land. But you have to show that you were a resident of some time. Somehow, some way, show some proof that you were in Placer County for a long time.
Yeah.
They gave them a slot of land. They put up their tents and stuff. It's going to turn into a shithole. Like, crime's going to go up the roof. You're going to have to monitor it.
Yeah, they'd need some government-sanctioned, like, employees out there running
the thing is, they're going to have to do... It's going to end up costing... It's going to turn into, like, some crime-infested, drug-infested...
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
But it's like, now they want... we want to give them, like, Portland and stuff, give these little mini homes and stuff like that. But it's like, okay... At what point you have all these government programs that offer all this assistance to them that they don't take advantage of? Like, you're going out there and applying. There was a bathroom around the corner from General. A bathroom and a shower. You can go there, take a shower, use the bathroom, clean up. And then on the other side, there was like a little medical clinic. Nobody was going there. It would just be empty. Why? Because they don't really want to take advantage of it. You say, oh, I want to do this, I want to...
So should those people who opt out of these resources, do you think that they should be allowed to live in the city? In the society that we all sort of agree upon is like what we...
They want to make it to like, oh, it's going to be our problem. They're making it our problem. Like, dude, look, if they're on the whole streets homeless, lock them up. Move them out. Like, tell them, they'll move. Once they get locked down one time, they're going to move because they want to keep living. A lot of them want to live that lifestyle. Like, they're into that lifestyle. They like that lifestyle. Put up tents on the side of they shut down Garden Highway because they had to fix it because they were digging into the levee to make flat land. You know, it's all pitched at an angle. They were actually digging it out. Like, come on, man, that's unsafe. Like, you're tearing up the levees.
Yeah.
Like, you're only thinking about yourselves. Government, give them a little slice of land, and leave it. If they put them in there, it's like basically some Mad Max all of a sudden. Like, it'll be no man's land, you know?
Yeah. So there has to be regulations.
They gotta get regulated. I mean,
right. So that's the thing is, like, I think a lot of first of all, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's all drugs or mental health.
It is.
But it's not all. Because like you're saying, there are people who actively choose to live like this.
But the mental health side, the resources for those, it's not really available. They say it's available for mental health. But like, A schizophrenic is not going to walk into a clinic and be like, "Hi,
Yeah,
schizophrenic,
right.
I need some help."
Yeah. Can I get a prescription? Yeah. Well, there's clearly some issues that need to be worked out, but I like there's a part of it is some of these people just don't like the system and don't want to live in the system, but yet they need society to survive. They need the resources that we sort of throw by the wayside.
Yeah, but a lot of shit we do really fucks up everything around it. Like, charities will go out, be out there with their little styrofoam containers, handing them out, giving water bottles to these guys, and they go eat. Yeah, they're eating good for one day. But has anyone seen the aftermath of that shit? Of these fucking charities? Like these church group. Yeah, fucking Stacy, Tom, and Dan are out there having a great time. Hey, guys, let's go have
Feeling
a great...
good. Close to God.
Yeah, we're helping the homeless, and we feel great. Hey, you sons of bitches, why don't you put up a garbage can and pick up your styrofoam trash, you piece of shits?
Yeah.
Like, you drive by, you see styrofoam containers from one side to the other because they are done eating their shit.
And they don't give a fuck about
They just leave it everywhere. Now, you got water bottles, styrofoam containers everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, hey, man. Hey, Tom, Dick, and Dan, why don't you pick up your shit on the way out the door?
I have to clarify for anybody who is listening that you worked by
homeless encampments,
Skid Row, Sacramento, basically.
Exactly.
So you saw the aftermath of all these outreach programs
and don't clean up.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You're out there. God bless you for doing some bullshit. Your conscience feels clean, right? What about the damn street you left afterwards, for the next 3 days? And since some poor schmuck from fucking Lobes and Fishes driving around his golf cart has to spend like the next 3 days cleaning up after you guys.
Yeah.
Like, what about him? He's over there, he's volunteering, but he's over there cleaning up all your crap.
What do you think would be a helpful scenario, or what do you think we could do to help?
If they really want to do something, take them outside the city, to some land the city owns. City owns shit all over the place. Take them outside the city somewhere. Put them up there. Put them in a little area outside the city. Put them all over there. And then the ones that are there, get them some help. Get them, if they actually have mental treatment, need medical help, get them their treatment. Get them their stuff and get them on the road. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh, we have like X amount of $1 million we set aside. Okay, how are you getting to them? Like, what are they have to do? Like, how do homeless people know?
The accountability, too. Like, if somebody's utilizing a resource, you kind of want to know they're making progress.
Right.
Because otherwise they're draining the resources, and then other people who could need it and use it correctly are...
There was a state just late last year, they were talking about how like there was like an X amount of $1 million that was actually never actually properly utilized because the funding didn't come out correctly because the state didn't, tell them how they can release the funds.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You got the money in your account, bro. Why don't you actually go do something with it? Oh, well, we didn't get clarification of how the money should have been used.
I heard about that, yeah. And I think most people who looked at that saw that wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, but, okay, there's money floating everywhere for homeless people, but the people in charge don't even know how to give it out to them.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, blanketly give them money? If you blanketly give them money, that shit's going to go to liquor, drugs, or maybe a motel a couple of nights, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the real problem is there are those who want to succeed in society and live in the system.
Right.
Then there are those who don't and mostly despise the system, but insist on living within city limits and impeding on a lot of these resources.
Right.
And abusing and so on and so forth. So the real question is, how do we get those people outside the city and keep them outside the city? That's kind of like
It's like, give them, like the city takes their land that they have, tell them, hey, this is your guys' spot. We don't need homeless rolling. If you go down Richards Boulevard, Jaboom Street, I go pumping gas in Jaboom, there's like 12 homeless people walking across the street at one time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already in there, but I got to slow down for them because they're just like dragging their blankets across and their shopping carts.
Yeah.
Take them out to the city. Put them in make a little fucking little townhouses like they want to do. Spend a couple $1 million. Set up a little infrastructure for them out there. Put them out there. If they want to go out there and live out there, they got to get cleaned up. Make sure you guys are doing random checks, random searches, just like fucking jails and shit.
Accountability, yeah.
Clean it up. They can't bring shit in. A lot of it, it's like when they clean out underneath the North Gate and that 116th under the overpass, they got like 4 or 5 dump trucks picking up shit all day long.
Right.
That's how like the All American River Parkway is. The American River Parkway,
Right. It is not attractive anymore.
it is like nobody's gonna go jogging on the American River Parkway. Like, hey, let's go. Hey, what do you want to do this weekend? I thought we'd go for a nice scenic walk on American River Parkway. Look at the homeless people taking this shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Even at the state capitol, the workers that clean up, they're like, we need like level 3 hazmat suits because we're picking up human feces and
Yeah.
needles. Like, you're at the Capitol and you're picking up shit? Like, why are you at the Capitol?
Well, I don't know. I think recently the law changed, but I know that homeless people were, if they couldn't find shelter, they're legally allowed to sleep by City Hall downtown. So if you go by City Hall downtown, you can see at any time of day, you can see people posted up out there preparing to sleep there at night.
Is that really what you want to like project as a community, as a city?
No, but that's the thing. That's the dilemma, though, is how do we have an all-encompassing strategy to make this work for everybody?
They got that land by Cal Expo, all that in between.
Agreed. I agree with you. I happen to think that you're on to the right path in terms of getting dedicated space for people in this
but the
situation.
The more and more just keep coming, and then you got like cops dropping off homeless people in our city.
Heard about that.
That shit was hilarious. They were
Until I see it, I think it's just rumors.
There was a photo like them dropping them off in Sacramento.
Yeah, but you could take a picture of cops letting somebody out or putting somebody in, and
that was no. But they came out and said, "Oh no, they were just helping them get back to Sacramento."
Yeah.
They said,
No, I mean maybe this is true. Maybe they
were just helping, right?
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, either way, it's an epidemic. It seems to be getting worse. Anybody can agree the cost of living in California is really high.
More people, they said if you want to buy a home, you have to have like $100,000 income. Like,
yeah,
dude, I cleared like 55 last year.
Right,
bro.
right.
What the? They're never gonna buy a home here. Like that's not.
You're literally surviving California.
Yeah.
You're not living here. You're surviving.
I'm California
the state.
poor, right? I'm low income in California.
Yeah, most of us here kind of are. Like I think the weather's ultimately what keeps us here. If it's not family,
right?
And you pay a lot to
live here.
To be in this state.
Yeah, but if I go to North Carolina, I'm balling, bro.
Or Texas.
I'm upper middle class by tomorrow, bro.
Yeah. So what keeps us from moving out to those types of places?
When I was out there, when I first got out there in North Carolina, it was out there. I was not out there with a lot of family though. See, I didn't know anybody. You're in your fucking mid-20s. You show up in a spot you never been. You don't know anybody around you. You're just kind of like, oh my god, I was out there for like maybe a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years tops, I think around that time. But back and forth, we did a lot of traveling back and forth. So it ended up being like 8-9 years after. Like straight, like 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. Like max 4 or 5 years straight, but then back and forth a lot. I mean, after a while, I thought, I started knowing people, started getting to know people, but then I started coming back to California too at the same time. So it's like, then my dad got sick, then I was like, all right, so I stayed here. But like, I kind of saw myself like I could have just stayed there.
Yeah.
I could have just stayed there and fit in. If my dad didn't get sick, I think I would have just stayed there.
Do you still contemplate going there, or are you more focused on building your future in your home that you're in?
Well, now I'm just like, I'm fine. I'm good. I got the house.
Because you got the kid.
I got the house. Like, if my wife ever thinks about like, oh, I'll get another job and, we'll be fine. But her mindset's not there. Her mindset's like, I just want to hang out at the house.
Yeah.
I just want to eat and cook.
Are you mostly content with what your setup is now? I mean, I know you got a good job that you're enjoying.
My job's good.
Pretty helpful.
I did the math and stuff. I did take a hit on some cash flow. I did. I took like a $400 hit. Because after you gotta factor in travel costs. Because I didn't have travel.
Yeah, but you're getting welfare now.
Yeah, we get that money though. I mean,
it's a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, but okay, so it's like, think about it, like,
which is good.
Before I didn't have travel costs.
Yeah.
I didn't have fuel costs. I didn't have maintenance costs on my car and everything like that. Because 7 minutes.
You're right there.
7 minutes. Now it's like 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
There, 30, 35. Depending on the time, shit,
sure.
35 to 45 minutes to get home.
Yeah.
But, I'm putting on like crazy miles. But I drive the other car just because I just leave my car at the house. So
you're driving the clunker?
Yeah, the little beater car. So, yeah. So I drive there, drive back. But it's like, I'm adding an extra day, an hour and a half to my day too. So it's like my day will end up being a full 12 hours. Mm-hmm. But that
makes a difference, man.
Factoring in the travel time. But the plus side is I'm home at night.
And you enjoy the company you work for.
Actually, they're really nice. So everybody actually really cares. But then, like, you hear stuff like now, like, everybody's like, oh, you know, we're changing the environment, our general, this and that, da-da-da. But I was like, y'all motherfuckers are the same, bro. Y'all just keep saying that same shit. Y'all peddling the same information y'all been peddling for years now. You know, that's all it is. Like, they're just peddling the same shit. Like, we want to change. We want to change.
But it's the same...
Same people, bro.
I mean, a lot of companies, especially older companies, like it's for some reason, it is a challenge for them to shift the focus onto the people, and their modality has been about the numbers, for so long that it's almost like they don't know how to restructure it so that it is focused on the people. I mean,
I spoke with some of the guys that still work there. Like, you know, we're not friends by any means still, but anybody there is acquaintance more like, you know. Sure. Yeah, I sat next to some people for like 6 years, you know, 3-4 years I sat next to you and we were good while we were there. At this point, it's just like, you're acquaintance. So they'll call events sometimes like, oh, hey, our insurance went up and they gave us $1 pay raise, but our insurance is now like $700 a month. So I'm like, oh shit. So it went from like $100 a week, you know, so $400 a week to $700 for the cheap one, the cheap insurance.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I'm over here. I'm paying like $110, $120 every check, but they only take out for the first 20 weeks. After that, they don't take anything out. You
know, I think there are no companies that pay for insurance like General used to, because everybody's insurance has gone up.
But used to, with the new guys in charge, you're getting taxed more. You know, so the guys are like, oh, dude, we're actually losing money now. I'm like, okay, so what's the point? You know? Yeah. And then you find the same response, like, oh, kind of, you know, I've been here for this. I'm like, yeah, I would have still been there too if I didn't get turned. But I'm like, dude, at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't have been able to spend time with my kid at night. Right. I'll be working nights, coming home in the morning. I would never see him. I would actually never. In reality, if I was still there, I'll come home exhausted, sleep all day, wake up, play with him for like an hour, take a shower, eat, and go to work. Yeah. And that would be the highlight of my existence with my son. I'm like, but now I'm home. I'm home at like 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm from 4 or 5 o'clock all the way up until like 8, 9 o'clock at night. We're playing. We're gonna talk. We hang out. I put him to bed. I feed him. I can actually do stuff with him. Yeah. You know, and as he gets older, I mean, we'll get to spend more time with each other. You know. Yeah.
Well, that is the other currency that isn't taken into account. Exactly. A lot of times for people is that the number that they're mostly highly focused on is obviously the salary, the hourly pay, and they don't realize that you have to factor in all this stuff. You have to factor in the quality of life you have outside of your work.
Exactly. I mean, because a lot of people they were like, dude, we don't, you know, no one, you don't hear overtime. Like no one talks about, hey, we gotta do overtime. Da da da. It's like everybody's like, hey, bro, we're done at 8. Like, hurry up, we're leaving. Let's go. Like literally, you're hearing guys like, hey man, it's about to be 2:30. You're almost done, right? We gotta get out of here. Like everybody's eager to get out at 2:30. Like, you know, it's our 8. We here at 8. Let's go. Hurry up. We're not staying here at 8:01. Nobody wants to be here till 8 hours and 1 minute or 8 hours. Like everybody wants to be out at 8.
Well, you can definitely get used to having a life.
Yeah. No. Well, it's been like. Because the first 2 months, because he was, you know, when I started, then he was born in November, and then you got holidays and stuff, and so I'm off, or, you know, you're off and on, and so I didn't really get no, like, you know, I was just kind of like, I was home a lot still, like, even though I was still home. Yeah. And everybody's like, dude, you don't work that much. I'm like, I know, it's kind of weird, like, it feels like I don't.
It's nice.
You know, I know for the next couple of weeks it's gonna be kind of crazy, but you know, eventually it's gonna it'll smooth out as soon as all these bids are in and everything's done. Yeah. Like I gotta do like 7, 8 more districts and then I'll be done. So it's just like, you know, 7 more times I'll be good and back to my old schedule. Yeah. So it's up and down. There's good. Good thing is at least you get you know, your family time. Down is trying to get adjusted to the every 2-week check. Sure. That's
right, because you were getting paid weekly.
Yeah, then you don't really worry about it. You know, like, my bills are all scattered out. So now, so this whole month I've been putting like, hey man, so I want to move it. My bill, you know, I know
it's just restructuring.
And they're like, well, we got to charge you like a $10 fee, or it's like, oh, or it's like, oh, we only let you do it once. I'm like,
you'll get used to it.
Yeah,
you do. I get it though. You get used to the weekly pay. Yeah, the money's always fluctuating in a certain. Yeah, you know. And then when you get to the 2 weeks, I do have to say, you know, the transitions I've been through that you've known me from, it is nice to be in a partnership. with somebody else who brings money home,
Right.
and then we build that life together. Like that is I think it is one of the factors that you have to take in when you're trying to survive California.
Right.
It's like you got to have help.
You got to
can't-
get two income household.
Unless you is, some fancy pants person who can pull money out of your ears,
Right.
fine, that's great. But, the majority of us are paycheck to paycheck.
No, that's why I told my wife. I'm like, hey man, we really got to use that. Get you in you either get you to school, get your shit together, get all your stuff verified
Yeah.
and everything, and it will be good,
Yeah.
But she's more like, oh yeah, but my money's my money, your money's our money.
Just for now.
No, that's that Pakistani mentality though. Women over there, like, if they work, they hoard their cash, and then
That's messed up.
it is some bullshit.
I don't agree with that. What kept you, and no offense to your wife, but because you're Americanized,
Right.
you're born here, you're from here, majority of your personality is American built.
Right.
What has kept you from having a non-arranged relationship?
So I was with someone. She was a friend of the family. So I was with her. Shit, we were off and on. We're solid 2.5 years we're together. And then I was like, hey man, we should, let's get married. And this was after my first wife. We got divorced, and I was going through a divorce, and I was seeing her.
Sure.
And me, we
I
were like
remember.
we're old friends of the family. So I actually went out to LA. First time I went to LA, we spent like the entire weekend together, like literally together. Like she told her parents that she was gonna be in LA with her friends, and she lived in Corona. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be with my friends in LA doing some other stuff," but she was with me. So we literally stayed in Newport Beach. We stayed the whole weekend. We stayed together. We hung out. We had a great fucking time. We talked about everything. Like, that was our first time officially spending time together. you know?
Yeah.
We talked, we text, and stuff like that. But that was our official time, and everything clicked. Everything worked amazing, right? So I'm like, dude, this is great, She came out to SAC about a month later. I flew her out to SAC. I got some discount tickets and flew her out to SAC. She hung out. We spent time together. We spent like all day together, literally sun up, sundown. So it was like kind of went well for a while, and then we started talking about like, hey, everything's going well, everything's doing good. When we should get engaged and stuff. And I started talking, and she was like, yeah, I'm down for it. I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. So we're like, all right, cool. So she bring it up to her sisters. Her sister's like, oh no, don't do it. His uncle is bad, and they were like, and a lot of that negative shit. Like, yeah, back when we were younger, there was a lot of negative shit. No one really. My dad's side of the family didn't hang out with us, because they were just. It was a lot of bad blood between my dad and some other people in the family, and his first wife. She used to live with us, and then when she moved out, because they got divorced, and my dad still lived there, still took care of her, had her at the house, still took care of her, didn't do anything with her, but she still lived there, so she wouldn't have to go live on her own or live with family members and stuff. My dad didn't want her to do that. So she left. She sold our first house we lived in off of West Far Way. She sold it while my dad was gone, because my dad had her name on the house. Like, she was a third owner in the house. She actually sold it. And then there was a lot of bad blood, but so she was like, her sisters were like, the girls messing with her sister, like, oh no, they got a bad, his uncle Raza was in jail and this and that, and he's just like them, and he hangs around with them a lot. I'm like, okay, So she's like, dude, this, I hear all this. I'm like, okay, but I'm working. All I do is work. Like, I work at General. Like, this, any free time I have, I'm talking to you, texting to you, like, what am I doing? It's bad, right? She's like, oh, I don't know, this and that. So I'm like, dude, it's up to you. If whatever you want to continue this. You just want to keep dating, we keep dating. You want to start, start getting serious, we can get serious.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks go by, she goes, oh, I'm doing an interview at UC Davis, because she was a nurse. She was doing more like urology and stuff like that. So she was working at a clinic out there. She's like, oh, I got an interview at UC Davis. Depending on how that goes, we'll see where it goes. So she went and did the interview. The next day, she got a call back saying, hey, they offered me the position, and they're going to give me a class, the start time and everything. I'm like, well, that's great news. Let's, what do you want? Like, we should tell everybody and, get it going. And she's like, well, I don't want to come to Sacramento. I want you to come to LA, I'm like, well, I could go to LA. It's not that big of a deal. I could work out there. I could figure some stuff out. And then again, her sisters are like, oh, you don't want to work for UC Davis. It's a shitty hospital, this and that. They have no criteria. Like, her sisters just didn't like me, it seems like, And I was just like, what the hell? Like, I didn't make no sense. Like, 'cause every time we used to go out there, I used to be really nice, and sisters got along and everything. They're like, oh, he has a really negative background. I'm like, dude, I haven't done anything. Like, your sister thinks I'm a drug dealer or I'm a bad person.
So you were facing some serious opposition from her support.
Her sisters.
Yeah.
But then she goes and finally talks to her mom about it. So I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm going to talk to my mom. You talk to your mom. I was like, all right, cool. So I talked to my mom, told my mom about it. My mom's like, all right, cool. If they call, I'll give them the opportunity so they call first and then we'll talk. If not, then I'll call, the following week. Her mom was just like open arms, hell bent against it. Like, oh no, he's a horrible influence, this and that. He got no education. He doesn't have a good job. He's working at just warehouses and this and that. So her mom and dad went like all up in arms about it. And then she just kind of like, she got all weird. And she's just like, so after that, we just broke it off. Because I'm like, dude, okay, it's not going anywhere. What's the point? No, let's just keep doing what we're doing. I'm like, what's the point? I mean, we're already almost at the 2-year mark. And I'm like, what do you want to keep doing,
Yes, I remember the turmoil.
And she was just like, oh, fuck, just leave it. So okay, I'm like, all right, fuck it, whatever. I'm literally sleeping. The next night, she calls at nighttime. She's like, we need to talk. I'm like, about what? Like, I don't understand. She's like, well, you need to get tested. I'm like, I need to get tested for what? Like, what are you? Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, I don't know what you have. And we were messing around a lot, this and that. I'm like, wait. You think I got you some, like, sexually transmitted disease or some shit? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm like, I only been with you. I haven't been with anybody else, So if you were going to get something, you would have saw symptoms of that shit by now. Like, she's like, well, for my peace of mind, I'll need you to go get tested. I'm like, okay, look, we're done. And if you feel that way, you should go do it, I ain't got nothing. I know that. Because there would have been symptoms. There would have been issues. So I don't give a fuck. You do you. Mm-hmm. So I hung up on her. She kept texting me about it. I'm like, she goes, oh, I feel so bad, this and that. Next thing you know, come to find out, she, like, found God and shit. She's like, oh, I'm, like, reading the Quran, like, all day, praying 5 times a day. I'm like, bitch, we were having sex on the first night, and now you want to go find God?
Oh, wow. So she reverted back to something that's not going to work out for your relationship.
And then, so we stopped talking. Come to find out, she got married, like, 6 months later, somebody else. And then...
She was Indian or Pakistani?
Yeah. And then she actually hits me up on Facebook Messenger about a week and a half ago. Hey, how's it going? I'm like, okay, this is
Lord.
kind of...
You got all these ghosts popping up in your situation. You got to get rid of that.
So last year, my wife goes, hey, I want you to download Facebook Messenger because it's free for people from Pakistan to call.
Yeah.
WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger because they can't tax the data rates. Because over there, phones are ridiculous. You got to pay per minute, pay per messages. So Facebook Messenger... It's free internet, so you don't have to pay for the internet out there. So a lot of it. So my wife said download it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I downloaded it. Worst decision fucking ever. Hands fucking down. Hand to God, bro. The worst decision ever.
Yeah, I mean, I can picture what would happen next.
Back in 2007, I used to mess with this half black, half Dominican chick. Mm-hmm. We broke up. We went our separate ways. There was always this slight thing in the back of my mind that she was possibly could have been pregnant. She never came out and told me. I never fucking asked. But there was this, like, there was comments made like, oh, I missed my period and da-da-da-da. Like, oh, it's kind of late for a month or two. And I wasn't paying attention that much. And she was. This is when I was going to medical assisting school. So we lost touch. We never talked. I tried to, like, couple of years back, I was like, let me track her down and see what's up. Never found her. Never nothing. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm working on swing shift. Bing! Tab at the pointer. I'm like, what the fuck? I look at Miguel. I'm like, this bitch is about to tell me I gotta order like 9 years of child support.
Oh, no.
And he starts laughing at me. He goes, why? I'm like, dude, so there's always been the thing in the back of my mind that this chick has, a kid. Mm-hmm. So we start talking a little bit back and forth, and she tells me, oh, yeah, she was pregnant, but she had abortion. She goes, she didn't, I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Like, you could have, oh, it wasn't your decision, I didn't need to have your input on it. I'm like, okay, whatever, right? But then she's like, oh, the reason I call you is because I'm starting to have, like, dreams of, like, a 7-year-old girl with all black hair, standing there and in the distance. I'm like, okay, so you're feeling guilty about your decision now? Like, I don't understand it. Like, you have a husband, you have, like, 3 other kids. Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you now? Why is this a thing? Oh, we've been through a lot, this and that. I'm like, so, and then she comes out, she was having trouble in a relationship. I was like, so what am I? Just like fucking people gonna hit me out of the blue?
Digital rebound, baby.
And then she like calls me and she's like, oh, we should have lunch. I'm like, we shouldn't have lunch. That is just a horrible idea.
Can't have lunch. I'm getting married.
I was like, no, I was already married. This was
Yeah, no, I'm just messing.
I was like, my wife's pregnant. I'm like,
funny.
my wife is pregnant. I can't be having lunch with no other girl right now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, old Amron probably before my wife got here and she's not pregnant. I'm like, she's pregnant. I can't be doing. She's all
good
like,
for you then, if that's really the case.
no, that was the case. And then she's like, no, we should meet. I'm like, look, we're not gonna meet. Fuck this. Like, she goes, well, you still have the same number. I'm like, of course I still have the same number. Never changed my number. I was the same damn number forever. Yeah. You know, I've been with AT&T since they were Singular Wireless. I'm like, well, we're fucking good. I'm like, so she starts texting me. Oh, you know, you taught me a lot, and we were best friends. I'm like, I don't know where this is going. Another girl from fucking when I was like 18, 19. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it sounds like the worst mistake you ever did.
I was like, and then she was just like, you know, I wanted to tell you I was pregnant. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, dude, let me tell. Okay, so how much child support do I owe you now, right?
So this is why you just not into the unarranged situation.
So I'm sitting there like, okay, we dated back in high school and shit. She goes, oh, you know, I just want to tell you, you were really into your family. Like, you always listen to your dad and mom. And I'm like, that's kind of what people do. You know, I didn't understand it. You're like 19, 20. You're supposed to be like, you know, I'm like, well, you know. And so I was pregnant. I'm like, and let me guess, you had a fucking abortion. She was, yeah, how you know? I'm like, you're number fucking 2 for the week and shit. She started
that's
like.
crazy.
So then I screenshot all the messages from the one before. And
look at all your karma coming back to haunt you.
I have no idea. Like, I'm like, they no one ever told me.
There's a song by Big Pun. I don't want to be a player no more.
No, because I was just like, okay. I was like, all right. I was like, because me and Angela were together almost all of high school. So I'm just like, okay, like, you knew how I was. Like, so for you at the end to be like, oh, you know, you were too much in your family. Like, I always listen to my parents. I'm like, that's just how it is. I'm like, our culture, that's what it was and shit. So she didn't understand it. So I'm like, okay. She goes, but now I respect it, you know, because after all the guys I've been with and this and that, they don't, like, respect family and anything. And my baby daddy has, like, 3 kids, but 3 other people and 2 with me. I'm like, okay, so, you know, how are you? And, oh, we're living in Las Vegas. He's a tattoo artist. And I was just like, okay, this sounds like an interesting... but I found God and... Like, why does everyone keep fucking finding
That's
God?
so funny, man. You're like in the reflection when they're coming to terms with who they are. They start recollecting all the people they've been through stuff with.
No bullshit, bro. Fucking my first wife found God. So she covers her head now.
Look at you. You work for God. You didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Fucking cheated. The other girl, Fatma.
Little shepherd from Pakistan, or from Sacramento, Pakistan.
The girl, Fatma, found God. Fucking Angela found fucking God. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what am I leading people? What am I?
You really are God's gift to women. How about that?
No, it's bullshit. What am I, a disciple to fucking bring people to God and shit? Like,
you know, look, man, you got to think of it the positive way. These women are thankful and grateful that you were such a part of their lives that when they look back, they can see their mistakes. They're making amends. That's part of healing. Like, this is good.
So I was like, one day I'm sitting there. I told my wife all this shit. Like, I told her every time someone hits me on Facebook, I don't want her to be like looking.
That
shit.
Ding is traumatic.
Yeah.
Huh? Bing.
So
shit.
And I told her, I'm like, hey, way to go on that old Facebook Messenger bullshit. And I told her one day, I told her everything. I was like, all this shit happened and shit. And she was just like, maybe you should delete it. I was like, your family never even hit me up on Facebook Messenger. You made me delete it.
It never was used for the purpose it was downloaded for.
You said so I can, like, you know, communicate with your brother, your dad, and your mom, your sisters and shit. I'm like, that never happened. They hit me up on WhatsApp. Funny. And these fucking bitches. I was like, and they all told me, oh, they found God and this and that. And I'm like. We
opened up the spirit world. You need to shut that crystal ball down.
Because I was like, man, was I that fucked up that you, like, when
you were a thug and just a pain in the ass. And
back then, probably. But
sure. So, I mean, this is just your karma coming back to smack you around.
I was like, holy shit, was I that fucked up?
Good. I'm glad you've come around, man. I'm glad you're a dad now. I'm glad you look tired as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Good for you. That's part of it, man. It's part of it.
Part of what?
Sacrifice your personal comfort for the sake of a child.
Fatherhood should not be this exhausting.
No, it should be. It's humbling,
No.
my friend. Yes,
No.
yes, it is. Listen, you're going to be haunted. I mean, because you care, you're going to be haunted
Right.
by the level of, effort you make as a father, and it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough.
You know what's crazy? We had to not go to an event because he was gassy. The little one was gassy, so we didn't go to a wedding.
Yeah, we don't go places because I'm gassy, but
Yeah, that's
fair
different.
enough, yeah.
No, but I didn't go. My wife and my mom went.
Oh, but you didn't want to go?
I wanted to go,
Oh,
but since he was so gassy, I'm like, dude, he's crying. It's not okay, right?
yeah.
So my mom and wife were like, oh, we're gonna go. You stay. All right. It's Saturday. I'm like, I'll stay.
Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I stay. 2 hours later, he passes all the gas and he's just having a blast. I'm like, I was kind of sitting there thinking, like, I still got time. I can get dressed and go and be there,
Yeah.
He falls asleep. I fall asleep. My wife comes home. Oh my God, we had such a great time. The food was amazing. What did you eat? I Ubered eat at Taco Bell.
Nice. Nice.
That's the highlight. I Uber eat at Taco Bell. I fucking passed out with my son. She came home at midnight talking about how much fun they had.
Good. Fuck yeah.
I was like, dude, bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, we should have gone. I'm looking at him. We should have gone, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we could have gone and had some fun, you know?
No, it's good. You two need that time together.
I was like,
yeah.
you're all gassy now. And I'm like, we could have gone and had some fun, you know? But it was
No.
cool. We ended up having a good
Soak it
time
up.
and shit, though.
Yeah.
We ended up hanging out. We ended up bullshitting. We didn't end up doing us.
Good. Good.
But
I don't want to keep you too much longer, man, because you need to enjoy your day off, you know. Plus, Adriana's in the bedroom trying to be quiet because of this podcast. I told her to come out if she wanted, but
she could come out.
of course she wants to come say hi.
Yeah, she should.
But,
I should say hi to her.
Yeah.
No one likes you that much. It's mostly because of her now, probably.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I hope you like my outfit.
No, I was surprised.
I wore it for you.
I'm like, God damn it, this motherfucker still has it.
Well, for those listening, I'm wearing a uniform from the old employer we met each other at, and who ultimately fired him.
And you.
And no, I quit.
Oh, you quit?
Yeah, I never
The
got
first one?
fired.
Oh, wow.
Never got fired. No, because I'm a stand-up guy, and I don't have some thuggish past
Whoa.
where I get haunted through Facebook Messenger. I made better decisions, but
I probably made a horrible decision, but, you know.
But it's not your fault. Your father he had some negativity, and you're not really somebody who should be
No, I mean,
associated with.
the thing with like, me and my dad, we weren't close. Like, my brother was close with my dad.
Yeah.
Until he passed. Like, his last, I'll say, like, 6 months, me and him really got close. Because
Yeah.
we weren't, like, we would hang out and do stuff. Like, oh, hey, help me do some yard work. And then let's go to the store together and stuff like that. We would just go to places together like that. But, like, close, he's probably closest with my older brother.
Yeah. Well, I was just joking.
Yeah.
It's
so,
just what your ghost had been telling you.
yeah,
It's
my
like-
ghost's been telling me shit's crazy.
Yeah. Amran, thank you.
No problem, man. Appreciate
We'll
it.
do this again.
Oh, definitely.
And I think we should get our friend Girk here, and we should all just talk some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we try. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. Bye.
Well, everyone I ever